Today's episode of the Nateland podcast is brought to you by ZocDoc, AG1, Viore, and Helix Sleep. Hello, folks, and hey, Bear. Welcome to the Nateland podcast. I'm Nate Bargatze. We got everybody back. Brian
Everybody's back.
Aaron Weber, Dusty Slay. Everybody's
Boom.
here.
Missed you guys.
Back in the back in the game.
Feel like I haven't seen you on forever.
I missed you too. I missed you guys, and was
You guys couldn't take the heat from all the blowback about the 1 hour episode. So.
That's right. It was fun to start a controversy and then just leave for a week and let
you
y'all
guys
deal
took
with
off.
it. You know,
Do you know we're back to 2 hours?
I do know that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't really tell
Dusty called me furious, dude.
you. Oh, I figured. Dusty wants to give you 3. We're having
yeah. I want to get in depth there.
We could leave and then let we go.
Yeah,
and then there's the Dusty hour where everybody leaves and Dusty just stays on.
All bets are off.
Yeah, I'd like to talk for an hour about this Super Bowl halftime show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could get into it, but
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah.
No sponsors on the Dusty Hour.
Yeah.
No.
No. Yeah.
But you'd have to even when we get done go. Whatever happens after this does not represent anything.
A disclaimer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
on the
like
screen
that.
the
Like
whole
it's
time.
like a overnight, like a midnight hour type thing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. Take some calls.
Yeah.
Get
Did
real
you?
weird
Would you
with it.
not? Would you say you didn't like the?
Now, I used to be. I feel like
Halftime show?
I feel like they've gotten real tame now. But for a few years, it really seemed like some kind of ritual was going on the halftime shows.
Mhm.
But I think people have kind of caught on to it now. So now it's much more subtle type things. But I don't feel like, I'm not an Usher fan. I mean, I was in 2003.
Mhm.
And I'm not hating on him.
That was a great year for him, too.
Yeah, I'm
Bunch of-
happy he's having a real resurgence, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it was nice to see Lil Jon.
Mhm.
But
Ludacris was fun.
Ludacris too, yeah. I mean, I don't understand why Ludacris wasn't the whole halftime show.
Yeah, I like Ludacris a
Yeah.
lot. Like he's
I
just
mean-
very fun, and he has a lot of songs. Yeah, I thought it was. I didn't think they. You know what's funny is the camera shots. I didn't think were good. They never showed it from a big scope. Really, it was all kind of like just right up on the person that was singing, and you would see a lot of stuff going on behind them. But they never like showed, I feel like when they did that one with Eminem, like you saw some big scope of, that it was a big, big thing.
Yeah.
And this one felt like, unless when they went on that stage and they zoomed out to show you that stage was cool, that was circle.
Yeah.
But I thought it was just like, it just felt like, it felt like an old person taking a picture where you go, boy, you're not getting everybody in there. That's what it felt like, which could be perfect. I mean, Usher might be, how old is he? Is he my age, maybe?
I don't know that we really needed the whole Usher taking his shirt off mid thing. It's like, who's that?
He's your
for?
age,
45
Nate.
years old.
Your
Yeah.
age.
Year
Yeah.
younger.
Who's
I
that
mean,
for?
I'm a year younger.
The Taylor Swift fans tuning in? Is that
Who was
it's
that
for?
for? Are you talking about Usher taking his shirt off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I, don't.
That was for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, but there's. Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah.
Not everyone was upset by it.
Yeah. There, I mean, I don't think his, I don't mean,
I mean, his one song that I liked, "You Got It Bad." You remember that song?
Yeah.
Now, that was a hot song, and I felt
Mhm.
like his version. And I'm sure it's hard to sing in a football stadium, but what he did last night was not a good representation of a hot song.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was in Vegas. I mean, I think it was just like a different vibe. I don't know if Vegas is the best vibe for a Super Bowl. Like you think, I feel like Vegas feels like it's the best for a lot of stuff, but it's kind of its own thing that you're like, you don't need everything to be there.
What's the perfect setting, you think?
I just think Vegas is too big now. Vegas is making a big research. Like, I mean, they're trying to they have the Raiders there and they have just so much stuff going on
Mhm.
now. And they have so many shows. It's just, everything's big. So the parties are big. It gets real. Even get tickets were the cheapest ticket was like 10 grand or something, 9 grand to go sit in there. And, I just think Vegas is like, they got their own, like, just be Vegas to the world. You don't need to be Vegas, just we're Las Vegas You don't need another. The Super Bowl's its own Las Vegas in a craziness.
It's like putting a hat on a hat.
Yeah. So then you're going to go put it into like, a town that's like, we're already ramped up to 50.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, what are we going to do? Yeah, we're ramping up. Like you need to, that's why when it goes to like, just not Vegas, the other cities are like, oh yeah, well, we get to have this big event and it's a big thing.
It always seems like it's the same people in a touristy city. It's like a video game simulation where we're like, oh, we need tourists here. And then you place them there and they're the same. The first time I went to Vegas, I was like, oh, this is the same people that I used to see at Gatlinburg. I mean, it just seems like the exact same people walking around.
Yeah.
Every tourist place, it's like you just click and drag them to a new setting.
Airbrush t-shirts.
Yeah. I mean,
matching fanny packs.
I never saw more seatbelt extenders on a plane than leaving Vegas. I mean, I was like,
they run out.
People got into it out here,
They run out. Aaron asked for one. They're like, come on, man, not today. They go, not today.
Look around.
You're going to have to suck in, buddy.
Yeah.
Look around, Slim.
Yeah. I had a taxi driver tell me that it was better when the mafia used to run Vegas. He said it was more fun back then.
I think everything was more fun back then.
That's what I would think too.
I think everything, they go, it was all, I saw a video today or something about they interviewing like kids from the 60s or 50s and they're like, what do you think it's going to be? I don't know if I believe this. It was like, what is it going to be in the future? And they're like, I feel like it'll be, everybody, no one talks to anybody or all this stuff. No one has a connection with anybody. And I don't think it'll be very fun for the future. But now that I say this out loud and look back, you're like, what? Why would these elementary kids know what the future was going to be in the 50s? So now I don't even believe that video. And I did believe it enough to bring it up 1 second ago. Sometimes you got to just say stuff.
Say it out loud.
Once you say it out loud, you go like, oh, what? What am I saying?
Asking kids in the 50s?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, but it could be fake too. I
don't believe anything.
Yeah, everything could be AI now.
Yeah,
like we can create AI stuff that looks pretty good. So what can they really do with it?
Well, they could have. Yeah,
you know what I mean. They always say that the government has technology, like 7 years ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we get it, they've had it for 7 years already. So it's already better what they have.
We're like a third world country to our own stuff we make.
Yes.
We get it when it's already like, we're not using that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They throw it down to, we could be eating AI food out here. Who knows?
Yeah.
They have said that they're now approved to
AI generated food, maybe
to serve lab grown chicken and meat to us.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's AI though.
Yeah. Well, artificial though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
can find a word for the I in that though.
You had a few things to get off your chest.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like you've been locked up in a closet.
I missed a week
and a half.
I've been in LA doing podcasts where I couldn't say a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
This is the podcast you can really let loose.
Yeah. You had to go with the flow in LA.
Yeah. I had to be cool. I had to play it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a good. Bates was out this week, and we had a fun week.
We did. We were in Madison, Wisconsin, Omaha, Nebraska, and then Kansas City the night before the Super Bowl.
The heart of America, dude.
Yep.
I heard that show got canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, our buddy John Reed he was trying to do a joke and say like my show was canceled, so come to his show because he was in Kansas City. So was Vecchione. Vecchione was at the other club in Kansas City, and so then he went and Reed was trying to be funny and posted something canceled, and that I was sick, and I wasn't, but the venue I think found out. I think a few people got mad.
When they introduced me, I would get such a pop that Nate was having a hard time following me. I mean, he would eventually get them. But
I thought it was his knee.
You thought gunshots went off? Nope, it's just his joints.
Don't mic those knees. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody did come, more than one, like, wow, he went up those steps better than I expected. But
Oh my God.
Well, we don't have
Yes.
because there's no railing.
I know.
That's tough.
Look, I wasn't offended by the comment. I went up better than I expected.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when there's no we should have put a railing there.
Yeah.
We have to have some,
Mm-hmm.
or someone could lead you up. Maybe we
By
have a
the
woman.
hand.
Maybe we have a woman do it. A woman stands there and holds your hand as you go
Or I
up.
take her arm.
Yeah.
She leads me up.
What would you do if you fell going up the stairs? Like, what would your recovery be?
I think about it.
I would
All the
About
time.
6 to 8 months. Yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
I looked to see if they started the clock yet.
Yeah.
I crawl up and I got 30 seconds left. Nate's like, wrap it up.
I would think that if you fell, you would get it. Your adrenaline would get you up, but then it would be when we saw Bates later. It would be
Once it wore off,
it'd be tough.
I'd go straight to
It'd
the
be-
bus.
Yeah. We'd have to keep an eye on them.
We played basketball 2 straight days.
Yeah,
So
we did a lot of activity.
Yeah.
They had every place was awesome. Omaha had this great like backstage area. You were inside, and we played basketball. And we played like 3-on-3, 4-run. Our team won. I got blocked by Bates.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
I mean,
I do.
Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah, I do. I was in his area by doing an underhand shot, so I'm low, and so one of my moves, my go-to moves, is you go to do a layup, and I'll go, because the person's
Sure.
hand up, I'll go under.
Sure.
Well, he caught onto it, and then boom, smacked it down.
Brian just hadn't gotten up
Outta
there
here.
yet.
Outta
Yeah,
here.
you were just too
No,
slow
I'm
on the
just
initial
down.
move. Yeah.
I'm taking the ball's down in his village at the bottom, and then so you go, it's going to get knocked out.
With
Whatever you need
moves
to tell
like
yourself.
that, you would think that you would have said basketball player instead of soccer player when blending in as in another sport.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I guess I'm just good at everything. I
We
didn't
watched
realize it.
them play basketball though; it'd be tough
Yeah.
to blend in.
Good dribbler.
Looks at the ball the whole time.
Yeah.
Like Stanley from The Office.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, he does. He played good. I mean, Bates did good. He made some shots, and
Lit it
Yeah.
up.
he's a
That's
quick
what I'm saying.
release. Quick release.
Deceptively athletic.
Like
Not-
you
again,
can
not
tell
even
that
deceptively.
you're like, this guy was a decent athlete in the
Right.
50s.
Did you do shirts
Uh,
versus skins?
In the 19, he goes for when he, he was playing basketball when the real Hoosier team was playing. He goes, so he was for Lebanon. It's not a pretty decent little athlete right there.
4 corners is our
Yeah.
offense.
Just ran it out. Yeah, for a team that just runs the clock out. I watched a girls basketball team once do that. They ran the whole fourth quarter. They just dribbled over the line and then just the girl dribbled. And it was
Because there's no shot clock.
there's no shot clock, and then they stand
Wow.
back and there was no guard. It was younger. But I want to say it was junior varsity maybe or
Mhm.
something, and they just dribbled. And you just sit there and it's one of those that you're like, I can't even believe I'm watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't they put somebody on her to make her get a 5-second call?
I think if a team is doing that, the other team's they're not playing a team that can. They're probably like, we'll take the break.
Yeah, we're trying to get out of here anyway.
Yeah.
Our parents are making us do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody wanted to leave.
We had family friends that were softball coaches, and he used to have a hand sign to tell his players to tie their shoes just to run the clock out. And you could eat 20 minutes off just people tying their shoes.
On
Oh, yeah.
softball?
Yeah. With the children's leagues, they have a hard
Oh,
cut
okay.
a lot of times, and there's a time limit. But
Oh, okay.
just tie your shoes, take as much time as you need.
Mhm.
I kind of like gamesmanship like that.
You would think if there were some post-game
At
press
kid-
conferences for
At
those,
kids level?
Yeah.
they would go,
Well, you
Team-
want to just let them play though.
Yeah.
Like
But
let
you
'em
want to get
practice.
the win. If you're winning and you got 15 minutes left, let's eat a little bit of this clock, dude.
Yeah.
You don't
It
respect
depends
that
on-
at all?
Well, I think
I
you
know.
want
I
to
didn't hear
like.
what you said, Dusty.
it's gone. The moment's gone.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was great, though.
It was. You
Uh,
guys messed up.
yeah. I think people heard it.
You guys messed up. It
I
was
think
going to
there's
be
some
good.
people that were
Hey,
listening.
it's fine, guys. I mean, you know what I mean? We're having a good time here.
Yeah, Netflix special's hot, so we gotta knock you down a little
Yeah.
bit.
That's right.
You've been on the West Coast tear. Of,
That's
Yeah,
right.
it is hot.
Nationwide press tour out here.
Yeah,
You won after midnight.
I did.
yeah.
That's
I
very
did
cool.
win after midnight. Yeah.
Congrats on
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I rocked it. It
Yeah,
was
we gotta
awesome.
welcome back to reality.
Yeah, it was good. I had a hot run out there.
Mm-hmm.
I did Neil Brennan's podcast. I
Yeah.
don't think it's out yet. Blocks.
Yeah.
I did Adam Carolla's podcast. It was
Nice.
fun. Did Fortune Feemster, Tom Papa.
There you go.
It was great.
Netflix radio.
Netflix radio.
Right.
Did some Sirius XM radio takeover things.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I won after midnight. No, I was only there 2 days, and I don't really want to do spots. I'm like, I'm about to go to Milwaukee and do 5 hours of comedy. I'm good on the
Is
spots.
that one show?
Yeah, yeah.
Theater
Yeah.
show.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you really break it down, it was probably more like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets a little long.
Who were you with? Sarah Tiana?
Sarah Tiana
Oh,
and
yeah.
London. I don't remember her last name right now, but it was all very
Bridges.
funny. London Bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
London Bridges falling
You
down.
wearing the same thing you're wearing right now?
Different
Uh,
hat, I think.
Different
Different
hat. He's wearing his
hat.
Dale Earnhardt hat.
I think it was a bit of a different shirt, same color.
Yeah. Same idea.
Yeah, I mean, every day it's the same idea.
Yeah. Everything's the same idea.
Yeah. I got I did get my Dale Earnhardt hat approved though. That was exciting.
You got it approved?
Oh, yeah?
Well, it's a big problem, you
Yeah.
know. Most of the time I wear my own hat if I do TV things because it's my design, so it's approved to wear.
Mm-hmm.
But this was such a homemade hat that they were like, yeah, there's no copyright on this.
Oh, yeah.
This is Dale Earnhardt, 7-time champion.
This was like Miss America, where they're about to announce the winner.
Yeah. It looks like you and Sarah. This looks like Duck Dynasty, where they're, the guy's got $1 billion, so he got a girl like that. And you're like, well, they don't feel like. And then you hear Sarah talk, she's super Southern too. You're like, all right, well, it makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
She's countrier than me.
I know, she is.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, I don't know.
in accent.
Oh, sure.
In
Okay,
accent.
accent-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all two up there together.
And then we had a British girl, and they say British is like a, like Southern accent is like a slowed down British accent. So it's really just a.
Did you try that out in real time talking to her?
No, I don't know how to do any accents, but I did say that a couple of times to people.
Yeah.
That was a joke I did a couple of times.
Yeah.
People enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
If I get a joke that works at a party or something,
Oh, dude.
I'll circulate it.
Yeah.
I'll do it a couple of times.
Yeah. And then everybody's, did you hear about that? Did you hear the Dusty?
Yeah. And then once I've touched everybody, I'm out of there.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I want to ask you this: how much steak do you think you could eat in one setting?
Could eat or
Like one of those
would eat?
one of those contests where like you eat this much.
Not as much as you'd think. I mean, I don't know, 2 pounds. Is that a lot?
All right, let's say ounces, so it'd be regular.
Say, I gotta do the math.
2 pounds.
That's 32
be
ounces, right?
normal.
32
Okay.
ounces. Is that about?
Yeah.
That's about.
I
can't-
don't know. That's a lot of
College
meat.
ruins everything, dude.
What are you talking?
That's a college answer. So you go 2 pounds. No one even just say 3. Dude, that goes. I never even understand it when they go. When I go to the deli and they're like, "You want a pound of meat?" I go, "I don't know what you mean." But sure, I've walked out with 1.5 pounds of meat because I don't know how to break it down. Look, and that's on me. But I'm saying in this game, we're trying to ask. It's a regular person asking. We're asking you to come down to our level.
Okay,
So
I'll try. But I think weight is not the question here. You should go for like surface area.
There
of a
is
steak.
like a 32-ounce steak that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at restaurants, and it's
Yeah.
normal,
If you order a
right?
steak.
Oh, okay. Then
I think so, right?
maybe
Yeah.
3 of those.
3 32-ounce steaks?
yeah, so 96 ounces.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, the old 96er.
You said not
Which
as
is
much
what-
as you would think. That's
Yeah.
more than I thought. I'll be honest with you.
Well, the old 96 is the great outdoors. Yeah.
I was thinking 150, so he was right.
Because if we
okay.
get the gristle down, can we get some hats for the kids?
If John Candy can't do it, I don't know.
He did do it.
Did he? But
Yeah,
they
he
said,
walked out, the shirt's laying on his body.
But didn't they say that?
They know you got to eat the gristle and
Yeah.
the fat.
Did he do it?
Yeah.
I thought he didn't.
And then Dan Aykroyd maybe says he goes. I think he says something. He goes, "I get dessert down them. We throw in some hats for the kids."
Oh yeah,
A dessert down them.
Yeah, so like 96 ounce. I mean, what's the question is if I had to?
Like if it was one of those contests where you get free
Oh,
meal.
yeah.
Or
Just if
whatever.
you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our buddy Michael Clay came along with us this weekend on the trip, and I think I sent you a couple of pics of this. Somehow
you did not.
Somehow.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Brian, Brian's like, he'll find a way to send me like a 100 by 200 version of. Can you ever get a full size resolution photo?
I think no.
Well, I mean, it's just pictures taken by people's phones.
Yeah.
I know, but
Why don't you
can
text them to
find
him?
like the real.
Could you text them?
I
Would
could
that be
but
better?
I just thought with his computer, email would.
With my computer, I can somehow generate a higher quality version of an image that's already been corrupted.
No, I'm just
9
asking
times.
about. All right,
Yeah.
I'll start texting them to you then.
Yes,
And-
that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
all right, I'm
I
sorry.
like this guy's hat though, Michael Clay. I like his hat. Look at
Yeah.
that guy. That
Uh,
looks like my uncle.
You guys all right?
We're good for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My
But
little
like,
friend.
he's like, he pulled his image up, and I mean, the image is the size of a postage stamp. So I'm zoomed in,
Yeah.
500 times. So it's just not a good quality photo. And that's on me.
No, I mean,
I'm all right.
It's
with it.
on. Well, we got to hash this out ahead of time. I'm sorry about
Yeah.
that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry everybody had to peek behind the
he's lived
curtains here.
3/4 of his life before computers were born, and you want to make him? What are you out of your mind?
but every time, like, I sent you. No, you didn't. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you did actually. All
You
right.
know, send an email. You lucky you got an email.
Well, there's one photo.
There's no subject. Nothing was written in the email. I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect that picture to be? That kind of is on you to go.
Justin's peeping over his shoulder like, I wish I'd have got that.
Yeah.
You're mad at a time machine for not sending you a good picture.
Well, anyway, there's two photos
Yeah.
labeled steak eating
We
contest.
don't know where that other one is. There's
Anyway,
Michael. So Michael Clay, me and him moved to Chicago together from our water meter reading jobs at West Wilson. And so we went from Chicago. We moved from Nashville to Chicago to start comedy. Me and him lived there for 2 years, and we did some Second City classes. I did for just 8 weeks or something, and then I started with my stand up classes. Then stand up. He did like a year course at Second City. So Michael comes on the road with us and so the original idea of this bet was because a long time ago when we were in Chicago back, we have no money. We were waiting tables but it was like our birthdays or something. And so we go eat at this restaurant, and I want to say it was me, him. I want to say our buddy John that we also lived with. I'm not positive. So we have a steak. We have he eats like a 30. Do you remember him, the ounces he said?
like 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I thought it was 40 something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So how many pounds is that? A
yeah.
little over 2 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
2.5, maybe.
2.5. Probably.
Yeah, it was like 40 something ounce or whatever. But he ate a potato, he had salad, he had oatmeal, and he goes, I could eat another steak. So back then, we're 24 years old. We're like, well, if you can eat another steak, if you eat it, we're paid for it. But if you don't eat it, you got to pay for it. And so he goes, all right, I'll do it. So then he gets another steak. And so it's going to ended up being, but he's already had so much other stuff. And so it's going to end up being like 40 something ounces. And he gets to the last bite and he can't do it. And it literally, the last
Just
bite.
couldn't. I mean,
He was like, I'm going to throw up if it goes. I
Wow.
cannot make it go
if he'd
down.
have thrown up, would that have made the whole thing invalid?
Yeah.
So
Well,
keeping it down was part of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, you just don't want to throw up in the middle of a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right.
For a
And
free
then
steak,
so-
I don't know.
So what we did was we normally he would have had to pay for it, but we just all split that extra steak just because he did get it all down.
Yeah.
So cut to 20 years. Now we're back at it, and I'm telling that story. This steak. This is in Madison.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Great. Tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Tornado Steakhouse.
Yeah, they had a tornado that night.
Yeah.
Tornado Steakhouse.
And so, so he eats. I ordered a steak that was like a 30 or 28 ounce ribeye, and it was enormous. So when I get there and I get it, so I mean, I eat a barely little bit. I shouldn't have ordered that big of a steak. He had a 20-ounce steak, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he had a 20-ounce steak, and then I was like, "You think you could eat this one?" And so I kind of bring that up, and then so we hand him my steak, and so now he's eating probably a good 45 ounces of steak.
And bets were made.
And I mean, he had the sides already, and he had all that stuff. So bets were made if he could make it, or if he could do it or not do it. And he did it.
Yeah,
he did it.
I won.
Me and Bates, I won too.
Wow.
You bet on him. You said he could do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You guys got a real gambling problem, sounds like.
Yeah,
Not if you win,
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
true.
which I did.
It's only a problem if you lose.
Yeah.
yeah. Me and Brian bet on him to win, and then everybody. Yeah, so it was fun. Yeah, he was.
Did
yeah.
he eat that hamburger there with the au jus sauce there? You got a
No,
little French dip off to the
they
side?
brought that out too. But I mean, man, it was
I love a French dip.
it was a lot of food.
It was a lot of food.
It was a very fun night though, because it was like we were just all start arguing what's left on the bone, and like it's just it was a very fun night.
You eat that much steak, you're going to need a doctor. Maybe ZocDoc.
Oh, man, that was good. Thank you to ZocDoc. We can now find and book in-person or telemedicine appointments for medical or dental care. That is helpful for people that are on the go or work different hours like we do. Are you that one friend in the friend group that loves to treat yourself? It's okay. We all do it. ZocDoc is where you can do that for medicine. It's the place where you can find and book tens of thousands of top-tier doctors, all with verified patient reviews. So don't settle. Go for the best and find the right doctor for you. With ZocDoc, you've got more options than you know. It is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. The typical wait time to see a doctor is just between 24 to 72 hours. You can even find same-day appointments. Go to ZocDoc.com/Nate and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc.com/Nate. ZocDoc.com/Nate. And that's a lot of fun to say.
It is fun.
ZocDoc.com.
And you are a great reader.
Doc.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, guys.
Doc.
Is there going to be tension between me and you the rest of the episode, Brian?
I think
Maybe the rest of our life.
yeah. No, he knows to text it now.
There you go.
Yeah, I know.
Made a point.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think that was a younger person getting frustrated with it. And I understand in the middle. I might have emailed you the picture too. I get it. I would have done something like that.
Okay.
Next time, hand draw it.
I don't know how to make a picture the regular size.
No, I don't either.
I get stuff from my parents all the time. They
So
text.
The issue is this is a photo that Pimp took.
Yeah.
So it's unbelievable quality.
Yes.
But what I was sent was, I mean, this is a 82 kilobyte. I mean, this could not be a smaller image.
Yeah. So I don't even
So
know.
I don't know what happened along the
How many
way.
pounds is a kilobyte?
Yeah. Yeah. Where did you get that picture from?
I took it. Wait.
No, this is a picture by Mike Lavin. It says it right here.
Yeah.
On
Oh, okay.
This
All right.
image.
There were some I took, but I guess I just sent you the ones mine.
So why?
Yeah.
But when you scan it, when you send it, what happens? It shrinks.
Did
it?
you take a screenshot of it on your phone and then email it to me?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Well, that
Okay.
doesn't help.
It's
trying
good.
to-
I
We'll
would
figure it
argue
out.
maybe,
We'll figure it
yeah,
out.
bring it up sometime before episode 190. Not while we're on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought
it's
it
been
might be
building
funny.
up for 190 episodes.
I thought the
I
quality.
was trying to throw you a bone, and you're like, you don't even know how you sent it. Now you don't recall any of this, and you're like, well, now, Brian, I don't know what to tell you, Brian. Like,
I also think the quality
you
looks great.
I don't recall this dinner.
Do we really need high def for
You
the
think
guy?
this quality looks great?
Well, what do we need? We really need a high def for this guy cutting a steak here.
I mean, yeah, this is a high production quality podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess so. I mean,
yeah, we put it all out there.
I can tell that's a French dip. You know, it looks like he's got kind of an old.
Yeah,
cell
the issue
phone.
is not can you tell what it is. It's just if we have a high quality, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Look, when you carry this podcast like I do, I can't remember everything. You three bring nothing to the table, so I'm not going
Well,
to
I'm
be able to
kind
remember
of the
every
only
little
one
thing.
defending you here. I don't know why you're.
You're right. You're right.
The new
I
Beyonce
defended him
song,
too.
the Beyonce song that came out last night in the Super Bowl, looked at the writer's credits, written by Beyonce and Brian Bates. Did you see that? Did anybody tag you in that?
No.
Evidently, there's a songwriter named Brian Bates, and he's writing songs with Beyonce. But when you click on the info for a Beyonce song, that's not what you expect to see.
Yeah.
is written by Brian Bates.
So yet another Brian Bates doing better than I am.
Well, I think only one can make it.
Well, there's a few out there fighting for the title because, as I've said before, I get Google alerts every day about Brian Bates, and they're all doing a lot better than I am.
You ever see the movie with Jet Li called The One?
No.
It's like where there are lots of different universes of you in it. And then this one guy is going around and he's going to all the universes, killing the other version of himself. And then each time you do, the others get a little more powerful.
Oh, that's what Brian needs to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it fun?
It is fun. Yeah. I mean, it's violent,
does
but
sound
it is
kinda
a fun
fun.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jet Li is awesome.
Yeah.
If you watch that tonight, I will be furious.
Wow.
You just start watching all these other movies based on just that flimsy recommendation.
It's great, though.
I've been hyping up the greatest movie of all time for 3 years
I
now,
know,
and
but
you
it's
just
a whole thing.
it's not that big of a thing, dude.
You gave me a big thing, and that seemed like a fun.
It's a loose,
seemed
fun,
fun,
easy
yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
Not a lot of.
Okay, that's Shawshank is not that.
No,
Yeah.
That's what I
Shawshank,
mean. It's like I'm not looking to write a history book.
Shawshank can leave you being like, "Jeez." I mean, it's
Yeah.
good, but
Yeah.
there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
in
you
there.
got to leave. I'm watching this show on Netflix called Fool Me Once, just because they said, well, 37 million people watch it. I go, all right, oh well, and I don't think it's good. I mean, I don't know
That's
if I
all it
love
took. 37 million people watched it.
Yeah, like I thought, well, let me give it a go, and like it's this, now I got to see the end because it's all changing, but it doesn't make sense, and it's this.
What if nobody's watching it really? They fooled you.
They might have.
Well,
I think that as I watch it, I think that.
Well, my Netflix
It's a
came
British
out.
show.
It was number 2, and number 1 was Fool Me Once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What did you
And
call it?
Fool Me Once.
Fool me once.
Fool Me Once.
Mm.
And then, so it was, that girl, Michelle Keegan. So the thing, the hard part to get, she's great. Look at that, 84 million.
It is the 9th most viewed Netflix series of all time.
Yeah, I don't know how, I mean, it's a very much, it's a very much you don't know what's going on. And then a lot of stuff happens where you're like, well, what is going to happen here? So it's great at I feel like it's a simplistic thing to keep you every end of the episode. You're like, well, now I got to see what the next
A cliffhanger at the end of
yeah. But they do good. They do good with that. But the problem is that Michelle, the main woman, I mean, that plays Maya Stern, does it show how tall she is or something there? I wonder. She probably has to be 5'4", 120 pounds. And she's like Jack Reacher. She's
beating people up in the show.
And she just talks to her brother-in-law, gets frustrated once. She's like, oh, give it up. Give it a break. Her brother-in-law's 6'4", 210.
Yeah.
And her brother-in-law, she goes, I'll give it a break. I'll put you on the floor in 2 seconds. And he's like, you better not. And something. And he just goes forward and she twists his hand and he goes to the ground. He's like, oh, all right. Leave me alone.
That's where they get the title from.
Yeah, maybe.
Fool me once.
Yeah, and maybe that will come at it. I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just very, it's very kind of crazy to when you're watching it. You're going I'm watching this tiny, tiny girl. I mean, she talks to giant dudes like they are bumps. It's exactly like Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher is
Believable.
6'5", 6'6".
But Tom Cruise was short.
People didn't like that in the movie. That's what they said. And they actually messed up. I didn't know that till after, but they didn't like that because the point of Jack Reacher is you are big. Tom Cruise is, you wouldn't think that.
He was a great,
but he was a great, he was a great Jack Reacher.
Is he short in the movie, or are they tricked with the camera?
I don't know if and Tom Cruise, no one's ever really above Tom, in their height wise. You never see them. They do it where you could be like, who knows how tall he is in this movie. I know he's not tall, but everybody's his height really. So it doesn't really, and so I get it. I mean, that makes sense. It's what's the difference of it? But it just, it's hard for me to take the, I don't, but I have a hard time. I mean, that guy he's drunk. I mean, it's all the things that are maybe not, or I think he was, he drank a little bit. I mean, a big, big guy. And she's like, ugh, I'll put you down the ground. And then she just like twists his hand and he goes to the ground. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, all right.
But also, if like he knows this woman, like, and he knows she has this superpower,
Yeah.
then he wouldn't be like lunging for her.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
all pretty
he wasn't
unrealistic.
like lunging. He was trying to grab something like back. But then she hits another guy in this other cop. This dude, again, is 6'4", and this dude he's got a suit on, but he looks jacked.
Yeah.
And he kind of touches her, not even crazy, just touches her a little, which maybe this all adds up. I'm saying this, maybe this is all going to play into, touches her a little bit, and then she just hits him in the chest, and he's like, oh. And yeah, like and then she walks by him, and he like kind of flinches, and you're like, you're like 3 times her.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she's a superhero.
Maybe.
And that'll be revealed in the end.
Yeah. Then it'll be good. No, I've been. It's definitely. It feels like kind of trashy TV.
Mhm.
Like
Okay. Okay.
I think like where it's yeah, not saying that. I'm not trying to be. Yeah, it feels like just something. Yeah, you would be. It does feel like a British television. It is British, so. Everybody's British.
Feels a little British.
Feels a little too British because everybody's British in it.
A little trashy.
Maybe it is because everybody talks British. Then you're also like you like that,
Yeah.
and then you're, All right. Did y'all have anything?
Oh, well, I've already covered mine.
Yeah.
I haven't been here a while. I was in Chicago. I had a great weekend in Chicago. Added a show, which I've never really had to do
It's the real
All
deal.
right.
before. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
3 shows in one day, which is pretty
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah.
Feels dumb to say, but thank you
is,
to
though.
everyone that
Yeah.
came out to Chicago. And then I was at Dayton this weekend. It was great. So thank you to everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
I just did Milwaukee at the Improv. Had 4 of the 5 shows sold out.
Jeez.
Last time I was there
It's a
with
huge
you,
club, too.
yeah, we weren't anywhere close to that.
Mm.
And a few years back, so it was awesome.
There we
Great
go.
time.
All
We
right.
call those shows open mics. But,
Yeah,
good for you guys.
yeah. Well, we're trying out stuff out here.
Yeah.
We're working it out.
We're trying.
Start with you guys' comments. Damien HBC. I have to admit, I was one of the people that commented in a negative way about the last podcast. And to see Nate address and fix the issue is truly great. I apologize and admit I was too quick to judge. Thank you so much for the long format again, gentlemen. And God bless. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
no
went-
problem, Damien. Anything for you, bud.
He went too far though. He brought your mom into it. I mean, it was out of hand.
Did he? I feel like you're feisty something today too.
What?
I feel like this corner could be
Yeah.
trouble.
We're going to have to work through some
do
negative
sell out-
energy over
You
here.
do sell out arena shows, It's a little feisty.
Get a little ego.
Uh,
Straight to his head. This is very funny.
Yeah, so someone, Katie Stuns made this shirt for us, and I survived the hour of the Nateland podcast, January 24, 2024 to February 7th, 2024.
Oh, man.
Very funny.
That was a
Yeah.
wild time.
That's a great shirt.
Yeah.
I did have a lot of people after the shows this weekend tell me, they're like, I'm a mailman or I work a job. Like, I'm happy
Yeah.
it's going to be longer because I just
Oh, yeah.
listened to it.
Here.
I bet.
Hope
What?
Orsini. No?
No, I just I think that's funny.
Yeah.
That's all. I just think it's funny.
Is that a mailman?
No, just I don't know. just-
All mailmen.
Yeah, it was. This was real tragic for people.
Yeah.
People were on suicide watch for a minute when you
Yeah.
were thinking about. And it never was an hour. I don't think we ever did an
No.
hour podcast. I think
It was close. It
the
was down.
shortest we ever got was an hour and a half.
Hour
and it-
14
Oh, yeah.
minutes.
Oh, hour and 14.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was hour 14, hour 19.
I think it was just people just trying to be nice to us and compliment us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe there is a thing. Don't do 200 episodes and then go, I'm going to change it all to an hour. I learned
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Hope
It
Orsini.
feels like people came and threatened your life in a way. Like you were like, you know what? We'll do the 2.
Yeah. I think people were, I just thought people were more, they're excited,
Yeah.
I'm not, Hope Orsini. Mike's background laughing fits. I read them like they're all, I think, periods after stuff. Mike's background laughing fits are incredible and contagious. Episodes without Aaron are always missing his giggles, but Mike filled that part perfectly in this one. There you go.
Mike's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mary Ellen
He is
Goodwin.
No comment.
I don't know
Yeah.
about Mike's laughing fits. I don't, but
Yeah,
he
he's
is
fun
great,
to get
though.
laughing.
Yeah.
Like he'll get going. Like he's fun on the road. Like cause he'll you just see him.
He'll lose it.
He'll
Mhm.
lose it. And he'll be caught on something
Mhm.
you don't like. It's maybe early, and then he's just kind of gone.
Oh yeah.
And it's fun. Mary Ellen Goodwin. Only Nate would say he ate 7 donuts out of a dozen, had 4 left. So I did 8.
Yep.
Mhm.
Apparently so.
Yeah, a
Did
couple
better.
of people commented to me about how many donuts you ate.
8.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got
I
one
did
in
it.
one podcast?
Yeah.
Was it a competition or were you just eating while you were going?
No one knew.
No, no one knew. I just surprised, and gave the people what they want.
Donuts
no,
are delicious.
No one still knew. They're like, I don't understand this part.
No,
But
they did not.
he's eating a lot of donuts.
In LA, I had
liked
some
it.
donuts
That's
at a
fun.
place called Sidecar, and I had a couple of old-fashioned donuts, and I was like, man, I've not eaten a donut in a while, and I was like, that's a good donut.
What's an old fashioned donut?
The only other old-fashioned I've had is at
Starbucks.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Starbucks has one.
Okay, and it's like,
It's like a glazed,
cake?
like a cake glazed.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
the Dunkin' Donuts
I
is
thought
not
you-
glazed.
I thought you meant like the drink, an old fashioned.
Oh no,
No,
A donut of that.
no, it's just like
of alcohol.
Yeah.
it's like an old-fashioned. I think it's like before we started frying them. This was the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Delicious,
You look at that sidecar. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. They have like an alcoholic infused.
I bet they do have an
I
alcoholic
don't
drink.
know. What are you gonna do? Take a shot and then eat the donut?
Or there's like rum inside of it or something. You never know, dude.
I don't.
They're
know.
doing wild stuff with
Yeah, I don't
pastry
think
out
they're
here.
doing that. It's only been going since 2012. The world's freshest donuts. Seems fun though. Where is that?
It was in LA, next
Oh.
to a Trader Joe's. Got a few donuts in there, and I was tearing it up.
Oh yeah.
I love a
They-
donut.
Yeah, I like a donut too.
Yeah.
Would you go in there, sit there, ate alone?
No, I was with someone. I mean, I
Mm.
would have eaten alone. I like to do stuff like that alone. It's
Mhm.
nice.
Just
I
go
like
sit
to
at the table. And,
Sit alone, look at people. I love that. Listen to their conversations.
Mhm,
It's so fun. I'm
mhm.
all about it. I'm all about being a little bit of a creep.
Yeah. Justin Gibson. I love this episode, but it did make me miss Aaron a little bit when Blue Belt didn't even try to pull up the picture Justin was talking about or the end of the Super Bowl that the Titans lost.
Yeah, that's fair. The picture he's talking about was at the first Super Bowl. The quarterback was smoking a cigarette.
Oh
In
yeah,
the
that,
locker
that
room.
picture rules.
Yeah. So that's fair. Aaron's very
Mm-hmm.
good. Pull that stuff up. But I was also trying
Was
to.
that Joe Namath smoking the cigarette?
No, this was Lynn Dawson.
Oh, okay. I saw that picture, and for some reason, I thought that was Joe Namath.
Same era.
Look at that, dude. The good old days, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
What is he drinking?
That's what half my special's about.
Fresca.
Wow.
Drinking just a Coke, soda, whatever, right there.
Yeah.
And that's insane, dude.
That is insane.
It's a tough game. Victoria Brown saw Dusty for the second time this past weekend. I was at the Friday night late show in Milwaukee. It is always a bummer when someone in the audience can't keep it together and become a problem, but Dusty, you handled it so well and had the entire club laughing in support. Loved the new hour.
All right. Thanks, Victoria. Yeah, I mean, there was just a lady. She kept like commenting a lot, and then I just had to really make the lady be quiet,
Mm.
and then it was fine. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. I feel like sometimes people want you to like, because I was basically like, hey, will you be quiet? And she was like, I love you, and I was like, well, show me that you love me, and stop talking.
Mm.
And I'm like, I feel like sometimes they want you to like do crowd work with them and like mess with them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm doing a thing.
Yeah.
Let me do this thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be mad at you. I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want you to all of a sudden get mad and be like, oh, and now he's mad at me. I just want you to just stop talking.
Yeah. Mm.
This is about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it is though. It's like
Yeah.
it's not about me. It's about all the other people that are in this audience that want to see me.
Yeah.
And this lady's like, all drunk, somehow got up front. And I'm sure she's a very nice lady.
She's by herself?
She was with another lady that seemed pretty embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
She was.
And this, like, I'm sure deep down that lady that was embarrassed wanted me to roast her friend. And I'm like, that's not what I do. Anytime I try to roast people, people are like, oh, that was mean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I was trying to be fun.
You remember when I was opening for you
I
in
feel like you don't show remorse.
No.
I
And
guess
then that's
maybe that's it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd rather not do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like a serial killer. You're like, oh, no, I'm going to kill you. I'd rather just not go in your house.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what happened? You come in? You're like, I'll do what I do.
Exactly.
I'll mean it.
Exactly.
Sorry.
That's good. I opened for Dusty once in Minnesota, and this lady came up to us before the show and said, "Can you make fun of our friend? She has really bad skin." Do you remember that?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Rochester, Minnesota.
Yeah. She was like, "Our friend has like horrible skin. Can you please make fun of her?" And Dusty was like, "No, I'm not gonna just make fun of somebody
Yeah.
for having acne."
Especially some kind of weird specific thing that you know your friend is probably very self-conscious
Oh
of.
my
Yeah.
gosh, yeah. But I did notice her who she was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, her skin was.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
Can you imagine if I just unloaded on this
Oh,
lady's
yeah.
skin?
out of the gates
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just come
Yeah.
out there. Oh my gosh, put her in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's with
What
your
would you
skin?
say? What's up with your skin? Yeah, that
Yeah,
would
I
be.
mean-
I think it was her birthday, and she wanted to like make fun of the birthday girl with the bad skin. And Dusty was like, "It's not really the kind of show I do, just so you know."
yeah.
I hope that's not anyone's show.
And for the
Yeah.
record, that show I was practicing to do a Tonight Show. So I was doing my first 5,
Mhm.
which was really good. Really good. And then the next 45 was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so it was like that show, each show would start so hot. Like the audience was like gearing up for the best show they had ever seen. And then after that 5, it'd drop off
Yeah.
pretty hard.
Yeah. The up top so tight.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm pulling chunks out of all my other
Yeah.
good bits.
Right.
So it's like it got weak.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you can't even go back to it.
Yeah.
Nate Holdstein. Heard Brian talk about asking a stranger about the daycare and wanted to ask if the guys have any tips for the new girl dads or things they wish people told them before becoming a parent. My wife is due with a girl later this year. It's her first child, and I'm trying to collect as much input from experienced dads as I can. Yeah, I mean, it's the best, man. It's
It is the
greatest
best.
thing ever.
We don't do
It's not
daycare.
really
We're,
advice.
we're,
but
we're in a good spot.
It's not really advice.
I mean, it's like I never know what are you gonna, it's
Just do it.
it's your little girl.
Yeah.
Like it's like she's gonna be your little girl, and it's I don't know. I like
For old parents, I'd say get soft floors because we got hardwood floors and it's killing me.
Oh,
I
really?
can't get up.
You mean you keep dropping your daughter?
Well,
Wait.
I'm on the floor playing with her and
yeah.
it's killing my knees and I can't get up.
Get soft floors if you drop
Yeah.
them a bunch.
He said for old parents, get
Yeah.
soft floors because it is.
'Cause it's hard to
killing us.
hold a baby.
Yeah. They're wiggly.
Yeah.
That's very yeah.
Well, that's a good note. I mean, because
is
we
nice,
got a
yeah.
lot of carpet, and we are on the floor a lot, and it's it's very easy.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not even making an age joke. I'm not as old as you, but I'm not that far behind you.
Mm-hmm.
It would be he can't if y'all racing, he can't see you. But yeah, you're not that far behind.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. 20, 30 years, but
He's not worried about you.
yeah.
If you're in a race.
Do you feel like you can be prepared for everything, or is there just a moment of like you got the kid, now you're like, well,
Well, I'm trying to think like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a good advice. Like, or I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I could say this for me. It's like, we don't have a lot of family around. I mean, my wife's family's in Canada, my family's in Alabama. And it's like, we just had a baby and then they made sure we had a car seat and then they just let us go.
Yeah.
And then we just get home and we're like, oh, now we have to we have this baby now.
Yeah,
We
for
went,
good.
We went from
Yeah.
being these like two, childless people in a house.
Artists.
Artists, where we did whatever we wanted selfishly with all our time. And we're both pretty independent people. And now all of a sudden we just have this baby. She keeps waking up in the night. We don't know what's going on. We don't know we keep calling the doctor all the time going, is this normal? Is this okay? And then, not to be just too much info on my wife, but she, we were not bottle feeding. And then like when you've never had a kid, sometimes the milk doesn't just come. And it was like, we were like, are we starving our baby to death? What's happening? But it all worked out and it was all so great. And it's the best thing that ever happened. I'm so pumped.
Yeah. So you do
pumped
have advice.
I'm so pumped for, just like, don't be afraid to call the doctor, but also.
I never thought I'd hear Dusty say that.
Well, believe me, I did not want to,
Yeah.
but it's not myself.
I call, he means go to the top window and yell his name out in the field, and then the largest cow comes over and you talk to it.
Right. But it was very helpful. I mean, find a doctor that you like. We did find one that we liked and we trusted, and and they're out there.
Yeah, I think but it is good advice. Like that is, you'll be nervous, but everything that you think is like, well, mine's the only baby that's ever done this. Every baby has done that. And that's the hardest part because you're like, are they fine? And then you're like, yeah, they're fine.
And don't be
afraid. You always
to
worry about if they're cold. I'd always say that. And I remember my mom saying, "Were you cold?" And you're like, "No." And you're like, "They're fine."
And it's also like your kid, so don't be afraid to make your own call. Like it's like when I was in the hospital, I was like, I was like, I don't know. I didn't want them to just take my baby away. Like the hospital I was at, they had like these little things they put around their ankle and it's an identifier. And, I've read stories where a nurse was like, I swapped out babies, hundreds of babies. And, and it's like.
That's hundreds.
Yeah, that makes.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't, it's like, we all have this idea, right? That like everybody in the hospital is just angels. And it's like, maybe they all are, right? Most of them are probably all great people, but everywhere you work, there's got to be one person that's a little devious. And they're like, and so it's like, I didn't want them to just take my baby away. Eventually we're like so sleepy. We are like, yeah, do take her to the nursery. But,
I don't know if that's the advice he wanted.
I'm just saying, don't be afraid
don't be afraid to not trust your hospital.
Yeah,
and the people that
exactly.
Yeah,
it's your kid.
I mean, that's don't remember, it's your kid.
It's your kid, and your whole
the government does not own that kid,
and your whole life. It's your kid, and it's your job to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'd say you got to take care of yourself as well as your child, and the best way to do that's AG1.
Oh yeah, you got to take care of your body.
Good. That was good.
Taking care of your health isn't always easy, but it should at least be simple. That's why for the last year, we've been drinking AG1 every day. Just one scoop mixed in water once a day, every day, and it makes me feel ready to take on the day. A lot of days I feel like in this. That's because each serving of AG1 delivers my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, and probiotics, and more. People don't talk enough about minerals. They're all about vitamins. They don't talk about minerals. It's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. I like to drink AG1 first thing in the morning, which is recommended for optimal nutrient absorption. I fill up my shaker with extra cold water, add 1 scoop of AG1, shake it up, and I'm ready to go. If I'm running short on time, I can't mix my AG1. I can. If I'm running short on time and can't mix my AG1 before heading out, I grab a travel pack. Each is an individual serving of AG1 that's easy to mix on the go, helping ensure I get my daily nutrients no matter what. This is a new ad mixed up here, and I don't have this as down as my.
It feels very organic. Keep going.
If there's one product I had to recommend to elevate your health, it's AG1, and that's why we're here. Partnered with them. Jeez. I can't read,
Speak
guys.
from the heart, Dusty.
I can't read, guys. And that's why we've partnered with them for so long. So if you want to take ownership of your health, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3+K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/Nate. That's drinkag1.com/Nate. Check it out.
Boom.
Somebody emailed me a thing on how to read ads, and they said the key is to not remember what you just read, not even know what you're reading, just read the words. And I'm like, well, I'm already doing that. And
Mm.
That doesn't seem like good advice.
they say that's
For
how,
real.
like the whole Ron Burgundy thing, right? Where he's not even thinking about what he's reading. He's just reading. And that's why whatever they type, he reads.
So there's actually a good quality.
They say that's what they do.
Wow.
That's what the news people do. They just read the word. They don't even think about what they're reading.
Yeah, you probably can't have it really an emotion tied to it.
Yeah, see, I like to get
Emotion.
into it, but if this is a new,
Like you don't be like, oh my goodness, can you believe this happened? Like you just need to say it.
I should have read this one time before just reading it out loud here.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to try to get into it and really try to put some love into it.
When I did Carol Sullivan, her show, the Nashville daytime show, did you just do it recently?
I think so.
Yeah. When I was sitting with her on the couch, she was reading off the teleprompter. There were like 4 errors in it, and she just corrected it on the fly. It was impressive to watch.
Yeah.
I told her that after they were done. I go, that was amazing. She's like, yeah, I do this every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's anyway.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why you do have to be kind of mentally, you got to be, you just got to make sure I'm saying the words.
But this was like, it was something about a fair, and it said circus themed, but it said circle themed. That what came up. She just corrected it to circus. So you have to have a little context of what you're talking
What if
about.
after the broadcast they were like, it's actually circle themed?
Yeah. You go,
it's
hey,
not a
what happened
circus.
out there?
Yeah, it's not a circus. We got a lot of circles.
Maybe don't take it on. Tina Bletchley.
Wow.
Tina Bletchley.
What if it's Bleckle?
Bleckle.
Maybe Bleckle.
Tina Bleckle.
Oof.
That's probably better. Bleckle.
None of these are good.
What would you say?
I wouldn't say any of these. I'm
Yeah.
saying it's a tough name no matter how you say it.
Yeah.
Blashul.
Bleckle.
Bleckle. I bet it's Bleckle. Tina Bleckle.
Might be Tina.
No.
Maybe
Brian's
silent.
factoid about how the Super Bowl got its name helped me win a T-shirt from my favorite radio station today. Proof Nateland still belongs in the podcast education category.
All right.
There
We're
you
doing
go.
it.
Don't say we never did nothing for you.
That's right.
Is that quick? Can you say that real quick? How did they get it?
One of the owner's sons had a ball called the Super Bowl, and the owner said, well, we should call this championship game the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what Nate said last week. So,
Mhm.
all right.
Yeah.
The fact or the
fact that's a pretty boring story for why
Yeah,
they called
yeah.
it that. Yeah. No, nothing about you.
okay.
Mm.
All right. Well, you guys are in unison about that then.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not a fun.
The people,
Like you think.
I
It's
think
gonna
it
be
sounds
fun.
like a lie.
the folks thought it was interesting. So, I guess you
Okay.
guys aren't in tune.
I'm not saying it's not.
Sounds
It's yeah. You
I
go
am.
like okay, but it's it's just like surprising that it's. Maybe it's it's just surprised that it's that little of a thing.
I
Like,
think
you
it's
go,
not true.
Yeah, I could see that where you go like, what? No, it's not, and
Yeah.
Caddy Stuns, Katie
Katie?
Stuns.
She's the one that had the shirt.
Oh. When I was a kid, my mom went to Sonic so regularly that one time we went out of town for a few days and came home to a letter in the mail from Sonic's manager. He said that he figured we were probably out of town and told us to come by when we got home for a free dinner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good move if you live alone and you're scared.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy up to a local restaurant and they'll keep an eye out on you.
It sounds like
Oh,
either
yeah.
she went there so much or the manager had a crush on Katie's
I think
mom.
there's something else.
Come
going
on by
yeah.
for a free meal, Mrs. Stuns. I miss you. Figured you were out of town, but because you hadn't come by in a while.
Hadn't
but,
seen you in a minute.
I'd love to see you. Come
Mhm.
by. I'll give you a free burger and some tater tots with
That just seems like a
Blast.
lot. Like it's too, though.
What does?
Like, because for me, it's like then I would just be like, all I would think about is like, well, we have to go to Sonic because this guy thinks, it's
this
like,
psycho.
yeah, like I mean, I just don't know how to. Why wouldn't I like? And that's me. I don't know how to take it just a nice gesture. I got to take it with like now I feel like I have an obligation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to go to Sonic now. At least keep this going. I mean, for this guy to write a letter, How'd you get my address?
That's what I was about to ask. How did they know their home address?
Maybe write checks. Maybe they wrote checks
back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a little violation of privacy, don't you think? To pull up a personal check.
I don't think privacy existed back then. I think
especially if you go to Sonic this often,
you put your name and address in the yellow pages. So I mean, you could it was everywhere. Or you knew where you lived, or you knew where you know.
Yeah,
where do you live at? Right.
When we would get a phone book every year. First thing we do is flip to make sure our phone number and address is listed correctly.
And you wanted it to be listed correctly.
Back in the good old days.
Wow.
Yeah. We wanted everyone to be able to reach us that wanted to.
Man, that's so different.
Back when everything felt safe and we weren't worried about people tracking us down.
Yeah, it is crazy to go from that to now you want nothing.
I want to delete me. I want to take it off of everything.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
John Hoskins. Why do Girl Scouts... Is it John Hoskins?
Yeah, just the way you emphasize it. Why do Girl Scouts?
John Hoskins is... wasn't there John
Hopkins, yeah.
I bet that gets confusing.
This guy just missed out.
All day he's got to...
it's got to be like John Hopkins, and you're like, no, trust me.
Yeah.
As he walks back home, John Hopkins is in his helicopter above him. Why do Girl Scouts only peddle their addictive cookies in February? Everyone sets New Year resolutions to lose weight or give up sweets for Lent, only to be sabotaged by these cute little cookie goblins conspiring to raise money for unknown nefarious activities. It's absurd. I propose they sell cookies in October and November so you can share with your family while your body's getting wrecked around the holiday anyways. It's,
Harper sell?
Like that. No. We bought some the other day, though.
Where are you finding them at? I could go for some.
They're everywhere.
They were at Walmart.
And they corner you, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that sounded like some Boy Scouts or something selling popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I'll support. And then I was like, how much? They were like $20 for a bag. And I was like, I still did it. But I was like, geez, I feel like.
For a bag or don't they sell those tins of them?
Something. I feel like they really got me, though. I was like, oh. No, it wasn't a 10. It was. I was like, I feel like you guys really got me here with this.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you're really doing it for the cost efficient. I think it's the gesture.
Well, have a good product at a decent price.
Yeah. I think you could just give the boys $20 and you would feel better. Say, I don't want the popcorn. Here's $20.
I got to agree with John here, though, for some unknown nefarious activities. Like, where is this money going? So these kids can learn to pipe.
That's what you agree with them on?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't care what time of year.
Girls up to.
Yeah, they're selling this poison. But I mean, what are they learning to tie knots better with the money? I mean, is rope prices going up or what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You went from where can I get some? I want some to this poison.
How you doing, ladies?
Well,
where's this money going?
Yeah.
Just buy one, please, sir. It's a little kid.
Yeah.
Where is it going?
It is poison, but your body can handle a little bit of it once in a while, as long as you're not eating the cookies every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jennifer Marbach. Why doesn't Dusty ever come to Las Vegas? I see he does shows in cities and surrounding states, but never Vegas. It is the whole Sin City thing. Looking forward to seeing Aaron for the second time at Wise Guys on March 29th. We all will be wearing our Aaron Land shirts. Tell him to bring his posters, and I'll buy some of those too.
All right.
I have been to Vegas before. No, I just don't participate in those things while I'm there. You know, I don't gamble and stuff like that. But I've been to. I did Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club in 2019, maybe early 2020 actually.
Mm-hmm.
I did open for Kathleen Madigan there one time. I did a corporate gig, and we are working on a Las Vegas date. So.
Keep an eye out. Dusty will be.
Yeah, I will be. I like. Oh, and you know what? I did some country music thing there not long ago. Mm-hmm. The ACM, some thing there.
It's like Gatlinburg.
Like Gatlinburg.
Same people.
It is the same people. I was really blown away by it. I really expected. Me and my friend Evan were there, and we were like. We thought like vague, like we don't want to gamble, but we were like just picturing movies where it's like all comical and everybody's huddled around the craps table and we're cheering them on.
Yeah.
We went and like stood by a table and everybody looked at us like, what are you doing over here? And we're just trying to get into the Vegas
Yeah.
action here. It just doesn't. Gambling never. It always seems fun on TV. I don't know. Every time I see people gambling, I feel bad for them.
Well, it depends on where you're going. Like some of the casinos we've done together, that's all sad in
Yeah.
there. But yeah, a Vegas casino could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, people go and it's,
People having a good time.
if you're going in there and doing what you just can't be relying on it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't go to the Mother's Day buffet
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the casino. That's sad.
We did do a casino in Michigan, upper Michigan,
Harris, Michigan.
on Mother's Day. I
On
think.
Mother, that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking of. The Mother's Day buffet.
Yeah.
Just people plate in one hand, cigarette in the other hand. Getting food.
Harris, Michigan. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Island Casino and Resort.
One of the worst weekends of my life.
Well,
it was fine.
the weekend was good, but that show was really
It
bad.
was awful.
And that was the way we ended the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta probably think like our bodies are pretty good. That there's majority of people can be eating this food and smoking, and they can live to 80.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty like when
The body
if
is
you think of
amazing.
it positively, it's actually like wow.
It's amazing we're doing this well.
Yeah,
Because the choices we're
because
making.
everybody's like, well, you're gonna die. You're like, I mean, they're probably gonna make it to 70, 80.
Yeah.
You're like, they're gonna make it to the average.
It's going to be tough at the end
Age.
there, but yeah, they're going to get there.
Yeah, they're gonna get there, but I mean, they're gonna be. We didn't have,
Yeah. Our bodies we're probably designed to live a lot longer than we do. But it's just like, it's just constant poison going in
Mhm.
that we're like, our body just shuts down eventually.
Yeah.
How long do you think we could live if we did it right?
At least I think everybody would at least live to 100, 120, I think. That's what I think. If we were like eating healthy food, just out of the ground, grown food, I think meat is good. Not pork, but red meat and chicken.
Yeah.
And I think we would live a lot longer. But, we do eat a lot of bad stuff. I mean, I eat bad stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So the oldest person ever to lived, 116 years old. That's verified by verified oldest people in our era. 116 years old.
Right. And
So you're saying nobody is doing it right
There's
now?
a woman lived to be 120.
No, there's 120. Yeah, right below that.
I don't know.
Oh, that's the man, I guess.
I
yeah.
don't really trust this info, but I was told there was it's a guy.
We have a U.S. one in there. I was like, that could tell you right there. We do have a.
He had died in 99.
Well,
119
I'm
years.
just making a rough estimate, but I say
Yeah.
100 to 120, and so there are people living to 116. So, they may be doing it.
That's
right.
women though. What's the men? Why don't they just say the oldest person?
Because I think there's such a difference.
Okay, we can look at the oldest men then. Click.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the oldest?
Oldest verified man that living right now is in Venezuela, 114 years old.
Oh,
Yeah, so some people
so he's
are
close.
doing it.
Yeah.
But it's why are so few people not doing it right?
Well, I do think that
People I feel like you see people having 100th birthdays a lot more than you used to.
I think so too.
But I do think, yeah, I mean, if we were eating, I just think there's a lot of processed food now that's really not good for us.
Oh, sure. All right. So this week it's Valentine's Day. So I thought it'd be a good time to talk about farming.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good kind of lead into
Sure.
farming.
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
processed food and
Yeah,
living longer.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That was good.
You gonna live off the land, Dusty?
I don't know. I probably never will, but I'd like to. I mean, it's hard to do.
Mhm.
That's why I think we're in the spot that we're in, right? Because 2 generations ago, like my grandfather was born in 1900 and he was a farmer. He raised lots of food, but it's like it was hard. So by the time my dad comes around, things have started to become easier. You can get canned foods and this and that. So it's like it's so appealing
Mm-hmm.
to eat less healthy because it's easier.
And it's better.
Well, it probably tastes
It tastes better.
I don't know. I don't know about that. It may, but
I think it does. I mean, the
Some
process,
things,
yeah, like stuff that comes out of it, like that stuff. That's why I have so much trouble with processed food because it's
yeah.
like I mean I feel like that's all
I have
I've
I have a running theory. This is a new theory I've just come up with that because
Just now?
no, but just this weekend I
Okay.
bought this bread. That's it was like a sourdough bread, but it's like it said on the bag, made with only the best ingredients, healthy and delicious, and it was disgusting.
Mhm.
So I feel like they brand things like that so that we think healthy and delicious. Healthy is gross. They're like, oh, I can't eat healthy because it's disgusting. I think they make healthy things disgusting, so we go away from it.
But I don't think they are disgusting. I just think the ones that are not are that good. It's like cake versus eating,
Right.
just a whole wheat bread. Like you're going to be well, this cake is a lot better. That's got a lot more stuff in it. I think if you only ate that bread that was super healthy, you wouldn't think it's gross.
But I think that I eat some, like a sourdough bread is good. And then there's a sprouted grains bread, which I think is pretty good for you. And those are delicious. But this bread was branded healthy and delicious, and it was gross.
Why would a company deliberately want people to not enjoy its own product?
Well, they're probably some umbrella corporation, and they own this brand, but then they also own a lot of unhealthy
So they
brands.
deliberately sabotage one brand to drive sales to the other brand?
Yeah, because they're all under a thing. It doesn't matter.
And then they probably own some pharmaceutical company that would, once you eat all the bad bread forever, they'll give you a pill to keep you alive.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Some people say we deliberately sabotage the podcast like Coke did when they introduced New Coke.
Oh, interesting.
And then quickly, after a backlash, they went back to the Coke Classic, and it drove up numbers.
And we never planned on changing at all.
Some people think we were did it on purpose too.
Oh, with the hour?
Yeah.
Oh.
I respect the people that think we put that much thought into it.
Yeah.
I like that, though. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not even owned. We're owned by... we're a side project. No.
Yeah,
No.
we're actually owned by
BlackRock,
a company it's a company that owns a lot of dirty podcasts.
That's right.
So they drive. They get so dirty that people are like, "Oh, can we find something clean,
and funny?" And they go, "This isn't funny." But that's one of those. You can say anything. You can say anything's delicious.
Yeah.
If you're a company, that's one of those puffery's, the term. You can say anything.
Yeah.
You can say it's amazing. Those are all just terms you can use.
Because you can't prove it.
There's no objective standard
of
something's tasty. But I think healthy is a term that is regulated. Like you can't claim Doritos are healthy.
Right.
But
like we'll make cookies sometimes, right? And you'll use the recipe, and then we'll just cut the sugar in half.
Oh,
and the cookie is still good.
It's still okay. But it's not as good as it could be, right?
I don't know. I enjoy less.
Are you eating more cookies because of that?
That's where they get you. You'll eat twice as many cookies.
I don't know. Mm-hmm.
How about one great cookie versus 3 ones that are okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like an oatmeal cookie. Do you like an oatmeal cookie?
I don't know.
Oatmeal raisin cookie?
I don't like the raisin part of it, but I don't mind an oatmeal cookie. Yeah.
I feel like those
catch
are
me
good.
at the right time. I could.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm seeking it out.
No, nobody's seeking it out.
Like a coffee shop. You go to like a real hipster coffee shop, get yourself a coffee, oatmeal raisin cookie, sit down, write some jokes.
Oh, no. I've never written.
I feel like, yeah. Write it out. You write it out word for word?
I used to. That was a routine I used to do in Charleston. I'd go to this place called Kudu Coffee.
It's a very Charleston thing. Joe Zimmerman writes like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a South Carolina guy.
Yeah. So y'all just...
And there's a lot of coffee shops in Greenville, too.
Joe will find a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
And he watches birds, too.
Yeah. But he loves to go sit in a coffee shop and he just writes and,
by hand on paper.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun to handwrite.
I like handwriting, too. I'm going through that now where I'm trying to decide... Because I still always do set lists, but I've been doing it kind of just on. The only thing when it's on this is like I can move it around a lot easier. So I can if it's on paper, if I typed it up, I can just be
Take
like
this chunk.
I'm like, all right, let me move this chunk here. And it's kind of easier for me to see it, and you can just kind of look at it as a big picture and be like, you know what, I'm gonna try to move this there, and now I'll start with that, So I liked it, instead of the note cards.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say, I think Nate's New Hour is the best one yet. It is really, really good.
Okay.
Really,
well, you said that about the last one, and then the special came out.
And I meant
you
it.
were like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think each one's gotten better, as it should.
Do you feel that way, Nate? Do you feel like...
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to be. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to. I'll tell you, I mean, I'm in love. I love stand-up comedy. So I don't. I love it so much. I love the art of it. I love the. So it's a big puzzle. It's a big the way stuff is, the rhythm, and I mean, I talked a lot about. We were talking a lot this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I'm like falling in love with it more than I ever have. Just with these arena shows, it's just you feel like a Disney on ice type of I mean, you need to deliver that kind of thing, but it's like you want to be like it's just this. It's a movie, it's just this great kind of. It's so fun and just like how do you get this into this? And when you're hearing people laugh, it's just the gratitude that you get back from that is so good. And it's a play. It's a really a beautiful. I mean, I'm just
A real symphony.
yeah, I love it. I really do love
Felt
it.
like symphony was where you were going with it.
Yeah.
Could have been.
You know, you were
Yeah,
a real
yeah,
symphony of
probably.
laughter.
I don't think I would. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but it is
conducting a
symphony.
little
You're
bit.
conducting.
You are
Yeah,
kind of conducting.
it's like a song. I mean, I think it's like your rhythm is kind of singing. So
I
you're
always
just-
think about comedy
boom.
like that, like songs.
Yeah.
Like each little bit is like your own little song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's when you go up there, it's a prepared. I mean, I know what comedy can be, but like, it should be two separate things because if it's like, at the beginning, I understand you're one thing, but it's like, yeah, you should just keep growing. And so every hour should be like, well, what do I got to do to this one to make, like this one, I wanted this hour to flow the best. So that's what I thought of. Like before I started, I was like, I want to make sure I need to make this like, I want it to be so flowing that you don't know that I'm into another thing.
where it almost feels like one cohesive thought.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And
And I
it's
think I still
that's
got
cool.
work to do at that. And I think I could see for the next hour, I want to, maybe I want, I don't know. I won't think, I don't want to get ahead of thinking the next hour. I need to make sure I even have this, but but it's making this stuff. I mean, I because I have that Saturday Night Live stuff in there, and that I get in my head about that. That's the problem, because I'll do the donkey story and the orangutan story, and but it's a lot of added stuff. And again, that was 9 minutes, and so I'm doing that part of the 9 minutes, but the stories have a lot more to it than
Right.
just not a lot more, but like that. But in my head, I think it's like, well, everybody's seen that, but it's like, I want to own those jokes. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm going to do them, but yeah, it's, I don't know. It's just super fun. I mean, being in an arena it's just a different thing. And I mean, man, I love it. Like you think about a TV show and movies, and I mean, I want to do stuff, but it's just the best thing in the world. Like, it's
Well,
like,
comedy's where it's at. That's what it feels like people always talk about. They're like, once you succeed in comedy, they're like trying to get you to do other things. And I'm like, this is what I want to be doing. This is great.
yeah, I mean, I could see making a movie because I wouldn't mind, because those are very long lasting. Or if you could create you just want to create something that's going to be a long lasting thing. I would want to make something that people could go back and rewatch, and not saying that I will or won't or whatever, but yeah, with stand up, it's just like you just learn in that right then, and it's just so much fun, and it's just so interesting, and just being
It's the best.
like the shorthand you have with comics, and you're like, I got into that quick and I sped up that too. It's, but the comics can be like, oh yeah, I know. They know what you're talking about. But it's the language to each other I love it. And I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, and the more comedy that gets out there, like publicly, the more obvious it is that not everybody can do it well, and it is fun to be able to do it well.
Which is bad for me, but
It's hard.
Well, I think I hope that there's a generation that comes, and I think there will be, because it's like you're in that younger generation where you do love it.
Yeah.
You love the idea of it's a performance. So go be a performance, whatever type of joke teller you are. If you're Stephen Wright or Hedberg, or if you're, Seinfeld, if you're storytelling, whatever.
Crowd work.
Yeah.
But if you do crowd work,
Sure.
make it a performance.
Right.
You can't, like, the problem with crowd work is you're going up too unprepared. And so when you go up there, it's like they got to find it. But if you wanted to, I think that's Ian. I talk about Ian Baglock, but I think Ian Bag is really good at that, where he does crowd work, but he has jokes that are connectors, so it doesn't just get silent.
It's not for no reason.
It's never silent.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, he can do this, and what do you do, and then that, and then now I'm in this other. Now he does a joke that he has prepared. Then he's back into like, well, what's that? What do you do back there? And then if something starts working really in the room, then he can expand on it. But that's someone that's practiced that and like really, and have to have stuff set up. Like you have to be able to do it. And if you go out there and you don't know and you're unprepared, people don't want to prepare. It's a lot of hard work. The idea of stand-up comedy I think the allure to people is that it's easy. Well, you're just being funny. I'm funny. So I'll just go up there and be funny. And so no one realizes, and a lot of comedians fall into, it's not the audience's problem to figure out how hard it is. But if you're going to be a comedian, you need to know, dude, it is insane. How much you got to come up. Think about being a musician. You have to write a new album every 2 years, a year and a half, every 2 years, roughly. You're not going to do that at the beginning, but once you become older and kind of get going, you are kind of doing that. And, even if it's 3 years, people take 8-year breaks between albums.
Yeah.
And they have a team writing. It's you. You have to go do this performance. But when you do that, it helps you write quicker too. If you go into it and think of it, your hour as it's like, all right, this is a whole performance. I'm writing a movie, basically. That's how that's my new, when I think of stand-up, is like, I'm a movie. I'm the star of this movie. And so here's my movie. And then when you do that and you just kind of can, and all the story, I'm not making stuff up, but it's like, all right, that happened to me. I'll grab that story. And then, I heard that. And, it's like you just slowly start and then you put it together and then it becomes one thing. There's nothing better. And you get to figure it out. You get real reaction every time.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part.
Well,
about
that
it,
is what's great.
Golly, that's so. You write a movie. I think you're going to wait 2 years.
Yeah.
You're not going to know. You're going to be, by the time it comes out, these people have to be like, what was this movie about?
That's what Seinfeld always said.
Yeah. And then you go, but stand up, I got to get to know right now. This podcast is about to Wednesday.
And you don't have to convince somebody else that it's funny before it's an actual audience sees it. Like when you're writing scripts or whatever, like somebody else has to approve and go, okay, this is funny before you even make it. Yeah. But stand up, you can go, oh, this just happened to me right now. I'm going to go say it on stage. And if people laugh, it's like, boom, it's a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, you don't have to go, what do you think about this? And then they go, I don't know. You just go do it.
Yeah.
I might go to Zany's tonight now. I'm all fired up. Well, I told Lucy no. You have your phone? You text her and say I might come. Now I'm fired up. Now I want to go.
You jacked up.
Yeah. I love it, man. It's just, it's such a, comics, I get, you want to be like, you don't want like this art form, and we don't like saying that stuff, but it's, if you can look at it like an art, it's an art form.
Like saying that. I hate when people don't consider it art. It's like almost like one of the purest art forms. It's like you're straight up putting yourself out there. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't work, you fail in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so much art.
Yeah.
Now, there's people that do it in a very not artistic way.
Yes.
Where it's really can be really trashy, but there's a real art to it.
It's the best.
It's just that she'll give you 5 minutes if you want.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I feel bad because she texted me.
No.
And I was like, nah. But now I'm started talking about it. I'm like, well, I get a little bit
fired up
to go do a little sit. Yeah. It's, I look forward because we're taping this special in April. I'm taking it in April. Then I'll finish the year of touring, and then still be the Be Funny tour. So it'll be, all that. And then I'll have a little time off. And then, 25 have another tour. But yeah, I mean, I look forward to building that. I mean, I'm nervous about it. I'm scared because I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to come up with anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
But I remember you saying that on this podcast, a year and a half ago, and now you're.
Well, that's what you just think, though. You're like, I mean, it can't. You know, I feel really good about it, but then you're like, it can't just be getting better. I just get scared. I'm not going to know I'm terrible. That's and so I'm just scared of that. I'm always like that. I think like I'm great. And then everybody's like, this guy stinks, dude. And I have no idea. And I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest fear. And I work off pure just that panic of I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death that I am terrible at comedy. And everybody's just being very
It's like
nice
the
to
kid
me.
that finds out he's at fat camp halfway through the summer.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I think Brian.
He's like, man, these guys are cool, dude. Yeah.
I think Brian will let you know. I don't think you got to worry. As long as Brian's in your life, I think he'll let you know.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that day. I'll be the first to tell you. But to your point about stand-up comedy, you make a movie, you don't know it's bad, I guess, until maybe the audience doesn't go. But stand-up, if they don't laugh, that's a first clue.
It's the fact that you can. Yeah, I mean, it's just that instant. There's nothing more pure. I mean, that's the thing that Gaffigan said in the Golden Globes. We said now the Golden Globes now have letting the real talented people an award for the real talented people because they're saying that the comedians are the ones that write the jokes. But it's and then they have to perform and they have to sell them. It's really a very like. I can get you back in farming. It's a very farming type thing. Watch how I'm gonna get it back because you plant your food, you eat it's sustainable. It's self-sustained. You're an art form that's self-sustained. I don't need.
There you go.
I don't need a camera. I don't need I mean, you want a microphone, but I don't need a microphone. Technically, I don't need.
You're
anything.
off the grid.
And
You're off the grid. It's the only art form that's off the grid. And that's like farming. Farming is that.
And if you don't weed your garden in the sense that you have too many words in your joke, if you don't weed the garden, then those weeds will suck the nutrients out of what you're actually trying to grow and ruin your whole bit. So you got to take a bunch of words out. You got to get all those weeds out of there.
Yeah.
And every few hundred years, new technology comes and uproots the industry, and you have to rethink everything.
But the thing is, stand-up is going to be hard to get uprooted
because you still the same plant. We're still growing this. They may GMO it, but we're still eating the same kind.
You can only do it sometimes a year. It's very seasonal.
Yeah,
stand-up is.
I was laughing because you go. I'm gonna bring this back to farming. It's a very farming type thing.
It is though. It is though, because
Brilliant.
I agree with you, but it was just, if you just stop there.
His example,
it's like farming.
Yeah. And if you don't do it right, you're not going to get any results.
There you go.
I don't even do it for the fans. I do it for Viore clothing. It's everything you need in clothing when it comes to working out or just lounging around, which may be more my speed. Oh, I hadn't read this ahead. Seriously, it's more comfortable than whatever you're wearing right now. I'm wearing the
I got Viore on right now.
Half zip. I'm wearing.
Ooh.
I got it on too. A little hoodie.
Look at you guys.
Very
You look
comfortable.
good. You look good.
Wear
and
it on
comfortable.
stage.
Yeah, Viore is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they're offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at Viore.com/Nate. That's VUORI.com/Nate. And not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to Viore.com/Nate and discover the versatility of Viore clothing. Boom.
That's a great.
Yeah, I do want the next younger comics though. I want them to be in love with stand-up, and I hope they are. And I hope they don't look at it as a stepping stone. Like I hope they can look at it as an end game.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you can do other stuff, but it all comes back to, Seinfeld did it. It's like he did TV shows, he's done movies, but it's all stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not saying you don't go do anything else or whatever, but it's all stand-up. And you just go be in love with it and be like, this is my thing. These are my side projects that I go do. But this is my main thing. And look, because it's very, very hard.
And you got to write new stuff. Even if you love the stuff that you're doing, you have to write new stuff because that's what makes you better.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get better not writing new stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you're just like, there are people that I've known in my life that can work an hour. They'll write an hour and they can work that hour forever. And it's amazing that they can do that, to perform the same joke over and over again and deliver it with some real passion. But I think, that's how you get better, is writing stuff.
I got to go work on transitions. That's why I need to go down there tonight. Just one transition, which is funny to think saying the joke.
Yeah.
But I'll do a joke to do it, but I just need to get.
That's funny how small and precise of a thing.
Yeah, it's like I just got to get this one. Like I need to be able to get to this, and I'm doing it, but it's not there. There's another joke too that I think I could maybe say different.
All right, farming.
Farming.
Farming's been around pretty much from the beginning.
You wanted 2 hours.
That's right.
There you go. In the Bible, Adam tended the Garden of Eden. That's kind of like a farmer, right? At least a gardener.
I don't think he had to really do anything in the Garden of Eden, though. It was not till he was thrown out that he had to
Get
really
serious.
farm the land.
Yeah, they was just like growing.
God was like, if you just do what I tell you to do, you're not going to have to do anything. And he was like, nah. And then God was like, all right, now you're tilling the land.
Well, he had to name the animals.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah. That's not farming, though. But
Well,
I mean, does a farmer name all the animals? Like, if you have a bunch of cows, are you naming them, or you just
No.
kind of have
not
them
how
go
I
out
grew
there?
up.
no.
Yeah.
Because you're
We
about to
didn't-
send them off to slaughter. You don't want to get to
We didn't have any
personal
names
level.
for any animals.
What would you go? That one? You're like, go grab that one.
Well, you had to have tags on
Yeah,
their
with
ears
numbers.
with numbers on them.
Yeah.
And we liked them. We cared about them. But
Did you? Yeah. I mean, did you have one that you're like, I like 99447?
yeah, then we had short, we didn't have that
Yeah.
many cows. So it'd be like number 27.
Yeah.
But
Go
we had,
get Niner Tingo X-ray. You're like out there.
but we had a bull for a while that would chase you, and we named him Sweetie,
Yeah.
kind of like that sort of thing. And he
Yeah.
would chase you around the pasture,
Yeah.
and it's pretty terrifying, but
Yeah.
also fun at the same time. Like fun because we never got hit by him,
Yeah.
but pretty scary.
You just stop calling him Sweetie real quick.
Yeah.
If you hit one
And
of
probably send him off to the slaughter
That's right.
immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Did you hear them? When were you on a farm?
Well, I grew up with divorced parents. So
Yeah.
my
Oh,
mom lived in
yeah,
the trailer
yeah.
park. My dad lived on a farm.
Yeah.
And he had cows.
Yeah.
And,
Did they wake you up in the morning?
no,
No.
I wasn't like that.
Have you ever woken
Mhm.
up with a cockadoodle-doo? Is that ever, you've ever started
No,
a day like that?
We never had chickens.
Is that real? Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it
It
in the
is.
morning. I think I've woken up.
Really?
I'm
From
pretty sure
a
I have.
rooster.
Yeah, I think I have, from like just a rooster being,
Mm-hmm. I grew up on a farm. We didn't have chickens, but we had cows and horses.
Yeah, that's what we had. I had a donkey for a little while. Now, we did go camping.
You name the horses?
We
Mhm.
named the horses.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we only had a couple.
Yeah.
And horses are a little more like,
You're keeping them.
yeah. I mean, they call people like they call things like cattle for a reason, I think, because they're just indiscriminate
Mm.
groups. But like
Mhm.
horses feel personal.
What did your dad grow?
He just raised cows.
Oh, he didn't
And
grow
we
anything.
would grow hay and then bale hay every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would do random gardens, but we were just a cow farm.
So anthropologists say that early man, it was
And
hunter
who is that?
who are anthropologists,
Yeah.
just a group of dudes and some gals, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, of course.
They say early man was hunter gatherers. That was like the first, and then they eventually evolved into farmers. And that's when people really started to flourish and thrive because you're not now hunting for your food to live, you're growing it. And
Oh, dude,
people take
all
off.
of a sudden you've got hours to kill, which was just never a thing, right?
I
Yeah,
guess
Way
so.
back in the
Yeah.
day, you're hunting all day,
Yeah.
and then you have no relief. There's no leisure because you got to get up the next day and hunt again. But if you're farming and you're like stocking up on food, then you got, what do I do all day?
Mhm.
Now I can sit and think and invent stuff and write stories and do
Mhm.
plays. And
Probably the
yeah.
only thing keeping the animals back.
What do you mean?
Well, no, because they got to hunt all day. Like a bear. Probably
if-
get some work
So
done.
a bear could start farming, set up a little garden.
If they'd get some work done.
Yeah, they could. They could. Yeah,
They
contribute.
said they
something
got to
for
hunt.
once.
Like,
yeah.
oh, it's like, every day. Here we go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true or not, but read on the line, half that habitable, is that the right word? Habitable land on Earth is used for farming.
Half of it? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Bill Gates owns quarter of that.
About a fourth of the world's population works in agriculture.
A quarter?
Yep. Used to be up to almost half.
Oh, so that's down
It's
from the
gradually gone down over the years. Now more machinery, technology.
Yeah, I guess you need fewer people to work it.
Yeah,
Still though, that's got to be. Is that the largest industry in the world?
it is. Yep. We, I think I told this on the jobs. In college, summertime, I'd help local farmers in tobacco. And one time like 3 or 4 of us got nicotine poisoning. It's funny.
Oh,
I don't even
yeah.
smoke, but I got nicotine poisoning
You
because
got that when we had a cigar too.
yeah, I think I had some flashbacks.
Yeah.
It had rained and the leaves had gotten wet on the tobacco and it somehow seeped into our pores.
Oh yeah.
And
From physical touch.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, we were all sick.
I
Is that
feel like
real
a
hard?
doctor would come to you and be like, your pores are more open than most people's. Like that's, I wonder if that's,
Yeah.
Shut your pores a little bit.
yeah.
Like
What-
Swiss
he
cheese.
goes, this guy can't. Maybe is that the last time you did it? Like they just knew, like, talk about poor kid over here. Like, not the pores.
Wear long sleeves from now on.
Yeah.
Poor kid. He's got a lot of money. Different kind of poor.
Yeah.
Porous.
Yeah.
How was that? What would you do farming tobacco?
From the beginning, I always just helped out the farm, but they would grow these tobacco slips. And then first you pull them, once they grow a certain level, you pull them up, gather them up. Then there's a tobacco setter where that was my favorite part. It's either a 2-person setter or a 4-person setter. You sit there and a wheel goes around and you just plant in the wheel and then it plants it into the ground and that makes the rows. And that's fun. You got a friend there. You're just hanging out doing it. I was left-handed, so it always worked out good because, they needed a left-handed person, a right-handed person over there. And then after a while it grows, then you have to cut it you have to do things, get rid of like weeds and stuff and then cut it eventually and then hang it in the barn and let it dry out, cure, and then it eventually goes to market. The whole process.
What were you growing? Were you growing like smoking tobacco or like chewing tobacco? Or it could be any.
I think
Was this like a mom and pop tobacco, or did they contracted with a big tobacco company?
No, I mean, it was just local farmers. I feel like farming is a little bit like stand-up comedy. There's not many middle-class farmers.
So it is like stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
you
it really
go.
brought it back around.
Really brought it back around.
There's some that are doing great. The big farms, most of them are, just getting by. And
But you don't get into it to make money. You get into it for the love of the game, dude.
A real
That's
probably
passion
true.
for tobacco.
They gotta love it.
that's probably true.
Well,
Yeah,
if you
I mean,
don't love it, you're never gonna make it to the top. You gotta love it.
I've heard tobacco farming is really hard. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Especially like I know.
If he did it, no.
I didn't do it well.
Yeah.
I didn't do it well. I think
I
they
like
just-
when I picture you young. I just picture you exactly like you now, but just back in old timey times.
I mean, that's not far off.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
you
my
really,
dad
really
would-
do look the exact same.
Besides
as-
my hair, I'm basically the same.
Yeah.
yeah, and the hair's probably pretty close. Like it's enough that you go, yeah, you get it. It's not like it was. You think you've shaved your head your whole life?
Shaved my head the whole
Well,
life.
always had a short haircut.
I mean, I had a full head of hair, and then
No,
my
I know, but did you
30s
always
and
cut it
You
40s.
never
short.
grew out long hair.
No,
or
no,
anything?
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like the barber's been doing
Same
for
thing.
50 years. Been
Have you been
Same
going to
thing,
the same
yeah.
barber for a long time?
I would if he was still alive.
yeah.
I've had a few die off. It
Yeah.
was Raymond and Tony. They were father and son. They're both gone now.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Went through 2 generations.
Wow. Wow.
Raymond was the dad. Now Tony's gone. But
Do you think would he be a take over when you went? And you go, I want to do what
I don't think my mom took me at first. I don't think we tipped back then. I don't know if that was a Bates thing that we didn't know or that
We
was
never
an
tipped the
80s
barber
level.
back in the
I
day.
bet we didn't. I bet we
No,
didn't back
yeah.
then. I don't think people tipped. Like I would imagine
Stuff like that.
Yeah, our haircut was, I want to say, probably $5 shorty.
Tipping's out of control when you go in and you pay for a service and then you're tipping on top of it. It's like, oh, this is how much I charge. And then, if you want me to do it well next time, give me more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chase told us too, because we actually were selling. We had merch at the Kansas City. We're trying to do some merch. I did not know, but someone said one of the merch things had like a tipping option. And I didn't know
Oh,
that.
on the
And I was like,
on the
well,
tablet?
yeah, I'll go make
Oh,
sure it's strong
man.
point that gets off.
Oh, I had them do that too. My
Yeah.
merch guy had it wasn't hit, but it just on the thing it
Yeah.
said it. I go, oh, never
Yeah.
do that. Never
Yeah.
present that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know where that money would go.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't have some tip jar where it's coming to me. I don't know
Mhm.
who's getting that.
Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know how you could sleep at night, Dusty, unless you were on a Helix mattress.
Well, I would love to tell you about Helix Sleep. I love my Helix Sleep mattress and pillows. What is great is you get to take a Helix Sleep quiz and get matched with the perfect mattress for you. I have had my mattress at least a year now, and it just gets better every night. Not only is it the best mattress I have slept on, but the setup was fast and easy. Helix mattresses are delivered in a box and straight to your door for free. Helix is so confident with how great their mattresses are that they also include a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty. It's completely risk-free. Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/Nate and use code HelixPartner20. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Wow.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. It's like a lullaby.
I really
Yeah,
want to
it's like a
change
symphony.
it up. I really want to change it
It
up.
says roosters, they crow. It calls it crow. But then a crow is called a crow.
Yeah, but a crow doesn't rooster, but a rooster crows.
Yeah, but why would, man, that's tough for a crow. I
Uh,
mean, like they just did, like it was almost like the crow is the last bird. And they
Yeah,
go,
yeah, they just
I
call it-
can't name
call it
another one.
squawk or something.
Yeah, they go crow.
It goes back to Adam naming those animals. He
Yeah.
got tired because he'd been farming all day.
Yeah.
So, were you in FFA?
I think that I was in FFA because I took an agricultural class.
Farmers for America.
Yeah.
Is that what it means?
Future Farmers of America.
Oh, future farmers.
But
of
I
America.
did not participate. Growing up, I was not into any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't like that I had to go do stuff on my dad's farm. I wanted to get out of that as fast as I could. I'm only getting back to it now because, I got into the city life and now I want to get back to touching some dirt.
The FFA has over 850,000 members throughout the country.
But they're
That's
probably
so many
real
people.
inactive. It's like when I was in school, we had to sign up for it, and I became a member. But I was like, I didn't do anything.
I went down a TikTok rabbit hole of people, the FFA, announcing who like the president of the chapter is or the national
Mhm.
organization. And these kids were going nuts, dude. I watched it for like 30 minutes. I had no idea what was going on. I still don't understand what the FFA does, but those kids are fired up, man.
Yeah.
I think the ones that are into it,
Yeah,
it's a big part of
For sure.
who they are.
Oh yeah, they wear those blue jackets.
Yeah, dude.
for sure.
That's good.
It is good. And
I like the Travis Tritt. It's a cover, a song called "Where Corn Don't Grow." That song really resonates with me. If you guys get a chance, I think it's a Waylon Jennings song, but Travis Tritt has a good version called "Where Corn Don't Grow." That song resonates with me pretty hard.
Luke Bryan has a great one too. It's, rain makes corn, corn makes whiskey, whiskey makes my baby a little frisky.
Oh,
So
okay.
you should check that out.
Every country song now is about drinking.
Back in the day, you're just singing about corn.
Yeah, this song
Yeah.
is like about a relationship with father and son. With the father is a farmer,
Mhm.
and then the son he's like dreaming about a different life, and so eventually he gets out, and then he wants to come back.
Mm.
That's where I'm at. I don't want to go to my dad's farm necessarily, but I would like to start my own.
Yeah.
I helped Paul Hay too, and I was even worse at that than tobacco because my upper body strength even then wasn't that great.
Lifting hay bales is the worst.
Those strings, just even if you're wearing gloves, you got to wear gloves. They just go right through your.
What I'm going to ask you a question, and I don't want the table to make fun of me. What is hay,
Hay.
and what does it do?
Cows eat it in the wintertime when the grass isn't growing.
It's dead grass that's dried out.
And it's literally just food for the cattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
It's
just
like ryegrass, I think, or bahia, I think is the type of grass.
and it comes in those barrels. That's the bays. What are they
Uh,
called?
A bale.
bale.
Oh,
Yeah.
bell.
Oh,
Yeah,
bell.
I know.
Kinda
There's
both.
square bells and round bells.
Okay, and you just spread those out and then they eat them.
Yeah,
Well,
you store it in the winter.
Like with the round bale, what we would always have, we'd have a big metal ring in the field. So you go out, you have to pick the round bale up with the tractor. You lift it up, and then you go out there, and then you have to
Like on a spike.
yeah, and then you have to lift that ring or a spike or just kind of like a forklift
Uh-huh.
kind of thing. And then you go out and you have to lift that ring. A lot of times it'd be real cold because that's when you're doing this is in the wintertime because in the summer they can eat grass. So it's real cold and you're lifting up this muddy thing because the cows are all around it all the time. So they're beating the grass down and it's real muddy and cold and you lift it up and the cows know what's coming. So they're all out there around you. And then you drop the bale and then immediately the cows go for it. And then you have to drop the ring. You hit a lot of the cows in the face with the ring, trying to get it back down. And that's
Are there hay farms? Do people just sell hay?
my dad raises hay and sells a lot of hay.
Okay.
I'm sure there are.
Could you farm in the right temperature where you never need hay all year if they just eat grass all year long?
I would think maybe South Florida, South Texas.
Oh, okay.
Southern
That would be the place
California.
to do it, huh?
Yeah,
I feel like it seemed weird to see a cow down there, South Florida.
yeah.
I think they're everywhere, right?
I'm sure, but I'm just saying, if you saw one in Miami, you're
Like
what are
Miami
you-
Beach,
what
just
are
a
you doing
cow
down
walking
here?
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, come
That's
on,
like
dude.
like Tampa and Key West has all these chickens running around, just loose chickens.
Mm-hmm.
But a cow,
Yeah, it's different.
you don't think of cows. Florida is probably the last place you're going to think of.
I guess so. Yeah. Or Hawaii, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know. You're never going to, no one's going to think of Hawaii. If you think you go America,
California.
you go America cows. I think it's a long road before you get, I think Florida's the last one you get to.
You
More
say
than
California,
California?
but I think California don't happy cows come from California.
Yeah,
They've got a
there's
whole
something.
advertising
Oh, I never even heard of
campaign.
that.
California is
Yeah.
like almost completely agricultural, I think.
Really?
Outside of
All
the
right,
big
I'm the
cities.
worst one then.
It's okay.
Like I went to a gigantic dairy farm in California. I did a gig for a guy and he took me out there and it's like, that's where they grow all the almond trees for almond milk.
Yeah.
And then he had this, I wish I should have sent you the video, but it was a giant circle that rotates and a cow just walks up on it and it rotates a little further. A new cow walks up on it. And then a machine comes up and hooks to the udders and milks them while they make the complete turn.
Whoa.
And if the cow, that has sensors on it, if the cow finishes before it makes its way around, it pops off.
Wow.
And then it gets back around. The cow walks off, goes back down.
You got milked in the round.
Yeah. That's why I thought the round was going to rotate.
Mm.
You could do a round like this, though. Imagine comedy like that. Somebody just walks on. It takes about 5 minutes to go around. You just keep doing comedy. Everybody, the audience members, walk on, catch a little
Whoa.
comedy, get off, go back to the bar. You're just out there doing comedy for hours.
Yeah.
That could be the future.
Could be. Farm Aid started in 1985 by Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, Neil Young to help farmers. They thought it was going to be a one-time thing, raise enough money, we'd be good. And they've been doing it now for, 40 years?
What do they do? A show?
Yeah.
Like
It's a festival kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like a Woodstock almost. Like just yeah.
Uh-huh. It's usually like in Illinois and just to help farmers out.
I want to do Farm Aid. I should get on that.
Seems like that would be something
That
up
you
your
would
alley.
do. They need a side stage for comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bonnaroo does. This is Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Mellencamp, Dave Matthews. This is a crazy lineup.
When is
Margot
this?
Price, Nashville's own.
There you
Yep.
go.
She just recently, I think, joined. They haven't announced the date for 2024 yet that I can
Alright.
find, but
Yeah.
it's usually in the summer, I think.
Yeah. So there you go. You can still get on it.
Yeah.
There's still time.
Still time.
I always heard about cows lead to global warming, but from what I read, I mean, I guess it just depends who you ask. That's not that big of a contributor.
Is there a number that we can attribute to? I'm talking about cows farting, right? The
Well, they
methane
they
gas.
say even that's misleading. It's more belching, but
It's the same. I mean,
yeah,
still.
yeah.
It's
they
the
do, so-
most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear the numbers.
This is from I can't remember who this is from. Research shows that removing all livestock and poultry from the U.S. food system would only reduce global greenhouse gas emissions by 0.36%. So a third of a percent.
So go ahead and eat bugs to drop it that little amount. you can start eating some.
This might
crickets.
It's
be
like when I feel like it's like, when you look at computer storage and you're trying to see what you can get rid of to save the gigabytes.
Yeah, sure.
That's what global warming is. And so you're trying to, like, it's this percentage. You're like, so you got to go through and you're like trying to take you're like, oh, well, I don't play those games. And it's like, well, that's a sliver of your, you're like, well, that doesn't, but I'm looking at the main thing that's like, and I'm like, well,
trying to get rid of some old Word documents.
Yeah. It's all different
2
colors.
kilobytes.
And you're like, well, we could get rid of that.
And then China's just this
Yeah.
huge one. You can't get rid of that.
Yeah.
You ever wonder why baseball teams call it the farm system?
Farm aid.
I imagine just the metaphor of growing and developing stuff.
All right, Aaron.
Cultivate.
Whatever.
Because someone's
Was that it?
Yes.
I mean,
the John Farmer's nephew goes, well, that's a Super Bowl. And he goes, what? We're calling the Super Bowl.
Do you know who has the top farm system then?
Top farm system. I mean,
Chicago White Sox.
based on what
with
metric?
baseball.
I don't know. Major League Baseball, the thing I
On
Googled.
global warming.
New York
Oh,
Giants.
is it
Cars.
the Baltimore
Yankees.
Orioles right now?
God,
Yeah. Orioles are
he's
good.
good.
Orioles. He's
Yeah,
good.
He's got some young studs.
He's good.
He's
on the
good.
team. Yeah,
He's
they're
good.
They're
It's the
good.
guy right there doesn't have kids. All that goes away. I'll tell you what. There's your
stop-
advice right
You
there.
stop keeping up with that stuff.
That's the advice for
Pick and choose what you're gonna stop caring about.
Yeah,
Well, that's
for
true.
Nate Holstein. Yeah. You learn that's the fun part. There's good fun about this is more kid advice than girl. You can't believe how much you love this little girl every day, and then but all the stuff that you think you care the most about once you have a kid,
Yeah.
you could care less. I mean, you just don't even like all the things about going to a game or going to this or going to you're like, hey, I don't have time for anything.
Is
I'll
there
also
a
say
relief in that?
Yeah.
A
there-
relief you didn't even realize that you needed at the time.
Well, it's like a relief into going like, why is everything going into this thing? Because I mean, it just is. When I was young, and it's like I know everything about Vandy, I know everything, and I'm
well, that
still
was
a
exhausting for other reasons. I'm
Yes,
sure.
it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, but I was just a fan. I was like, and then you slowly do it. You think like, video games. I'm never going to not play video games.
Yeah.
I'm not playing. I haven't played video games in 15 years.
Yeah.
And I thought, when would I ever
Yeah.
stop playing?
You can start doing it now, dude.
Stop playing video games.
You can start. You can come back, dude, at any time.
Well, I've started. I have one. I have it on my bus, but I mean, I still don't like. The only reason I like it is I played Madden just because it's a thoughtless thing,
Oh,
and
yes.
so it's
Madden's perfect. You can hop on and play for 15 minutes and you're done.
Yeah.
The video games I used to play, you'd have to play for 8 hours to get anything done. It would just take over your
But
life.
it's funny. You just don't have a desire to go. Even though
Sure.
I have Madden, you're just still like, I don't know. I don't want to go. I feel
Yeah.
like I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I've never in the online stuff. I kind of checked out. But it is funny how all this stuff goes away. You just
Another thing about kids, I always had it. I never changed a diaper. I don't think my whole life. I had nieces, nephews. I never did that. And I had it in my mind that
I don't think, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have been changing. all
probably,
these
but I
diapers.
mean, I was around enough family where I'm sure they would have liked it if I'd helped once in a while.
I don't know
But
if any. Yeah, I don't think I changed.
I think
it.
my family would have been okay with it. I'm just
I
saying.
know, but I'm just saying. You said it like, look, I don't think I ever changed. the
I'm just
diaper,
saying
though.
I was against it. And I was in my mind, I was not even going to be. I know this sounds ridiculous, but in my mind, I was not even going to be changing my own kids' diapers.
Mhm.
But the moment I had my daughter, I was like, I don't want my daughter sitting around in pee and poop. Like if it's in there, I want to get it off of her.
Right.
I want her to be in a nice, clean environment as much as possible.
Man, that's a real father right there.
Well, you know what I mean, though? It's like, it's my job to protect my kids.
Right.
You can't count on anybody else to do it.
Not even your wife.
Nobody, well, I mean, hopefully you can count on your wife, but nobody cares, nobody cares about your kids like you do. I don't know. I just, you just got to do it. I also wanted to say about John Hoskins, this guy may be doing very well. By the way,
What was his comment?
We just told
Scouts.
him that Hopkins was up in a helicopter.
Well.
I just want to say, John Hoskins, maybe this could be an exciting moment for him that he got his comment read. And
I mean, it was well written. He
we're
put
like,
some thought into
No,
it.
no. Well, I
We're
wasn't
like-
making. I'm just
Oh, I
acknowledging.
know. I'm
the
not
name
throwing
was
you
very-
under the bus, but I'm just saying.
Could be related to Phillies first baseman Reese Hoskins.
Oh, so he could have.
There you go.
I
Or
don't
could
know.
be just
30 grand
standalone,
extra.
doing very well.
Who's this Resox? He just named some. Like he's got like Resox and got enough money to give. Is he a big time
He
player?
was pretty, I mean, yeah, he's on the tail end of it, but he was pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah.
He was pretty good for a
I
while.
think John Hoskins is doing well on his own. That's
Yeah,
my
okay.
personal
I don't know. He's complaining about Girl Scout cookies. So,
Yeah,
He's saying I'm going to be eating them once you
Well-
put them out in the end of the year instead of the beginning.
yeah,
because
I
he
guess
has to
that's
go
true.
see John Hopkins.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it a hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Also a
it's
disease, right?
college, but yeah.
Oh,
Is it a
is it?
disease?
Yeah.
John Hopkins
University,
disease?
but there's a hospital.
There's a John Hopkins.
Hopkins.
You're thinking of Lou Gehrig's.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Another
He
baseball
goes-
player.
Yeah,
there
He
you
goes,
go.
what you got? I got Abraham Lincoln fever. What? He goes, how'd you get that? He goes, it's crazy.
Building log houses.
Farming.
Yeah.
He probably did farming.
He did some farming.
What was it? The Under Adoria? They called it the Ella Fitzgerald.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Who's
yeah,
a singer?
Ella Fitzgerald, yeah.
Ella Fitzgerald's the
No,
singer.
yeah. No, the
Then-
singer. It's the
And then he
fog hat or I don't know.
he argued. And he said, "Yeah, on the
Yeah.
Cat Stevens."
And the Cat Stevens. Yeah, yeah.
I also,
Yeah.
I'll say,
My dad loves Cat Stevens.
I was excited about the farming topic, but I think of all the topics we've said we're going to do and then didn't really do anything on, this was the most. This was the most.
Maybe the
where-
Bible.
where we were like, we're going to talk about farming, and then really everything but. We were like,
Was there a
about,
ton more stuff?
Well, maybe.
Not for me.
Okay.
yeah, you did about. Maybe you want to write up some stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
well, I
in
mean,
fairness to
we're
me-
at, we're,
No, I'm not saying now.
Sorry,
I'm
yeah.
saying like if
Write
you want
some
to,
stuff now.
We can
Yeah.
do this episode. Will be kind of farming or
Yeah.
Yeah.
almost farming.
it's
or
like
Yeah.
staying
farming more as a meta. We really discuss it more as a metaphor
Yeah,
than an actual
We're-
thing, which is great.
basically plowing the field here.
yeah,
No
There you
farming
go.
really took place.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
plowed the field.
We're gonna plant some
Mhm.
seeds next episode.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you, I mean, if you were trying to sustain on your own land, you'd have to have like people work it. And
Yeah.
like, you'd have to have, you know,
That's
Yeah.
why when I talk about having a cabin, people always think I'm trying to go off the grid. And I'm like, oh no, it's so hard.
well, it's probably the cabin. I doubt
To
it's
be off
just
the
the
grid.
cabin.
and it's a lot.
I think
of,
it's also your
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Yeah,
a lot
your
of like
mouth.
you.
the words that come out of
Well,
your mouth.
Yeah.
are
I would
the-
love
are the
to, but I
reason.
can't get a lot of family.
Saying I would love to is one
yeah,
of them.
yeah. I can't get my family involved with it. I keep trying to get my family to, help me build the farm.
Right.
And they're all like trying to go to, McDonald's and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Your-
I'll help.
You talking about your children
let's do
or
it.
your family?
my
outside-
family, my
yeah.
children will have to do whatever I tell them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's why people back in the day had a lot of kids.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to get stuff done.
Somebody's
Yeah.
got to milk the cows.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You ever
There it
milk
is.
a cow?
Never have.
I haven't either. My dad used to do it, but I never did it.
Mm-hmm.
You do it? I'm guessing you guys not never done it.
I don't think I've done it. No.
I don't think I've been around the cow.
Yeah.
I really don't think I've been around it. I've driven
Yeah.
past several.
This high education
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
I haven't been around
No.
it either. I'm just saying, but I mean, obviously,
Yeah, you didn't know
the
corn grew.
roads. Yeah,
My friend used to go cow tipping.
Oh, yeah.
My friend I used to live with. That was one of his favorite when he was at community college. He went to Fall State.
oh yeah.
They would skip class and they would go to this farm and they would tip cows.
That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Well said.
tipping's out of control.
And then he got into Notre Dame.
No,
Oh.
no, he dropped out of
Transfer
Ball State.
from
Oh,
Ball
yeah.
State to
He
Notre Dame.
dropped out of Ball State.
Oh, you lived with him after.
yeah,
Probably a pretty fun guy, right?
yeah. He's the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see where you're at.
This
I think we're
weekend.
done, right?
Yeah.
Or do
we're
we have
done.
other stuff? Yeah.
No, we're done. You're in Florida this weekend.
In Florida.
I'm in Florida this weekend. Go to Nate's show. Go to mine. Your choice. I've seen Nate's show.
Where's your show?
I'm in Palatka, Florida, at Church of the Heights.
All right.
Free show. So we drive home at night. Just remember that.
Where's that at?
That's
It is about an hour from Jacksonville.
Okay.
you say, just remember it's free.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind if you want your money back. Just remember that.
Yeah.
There's a local Christian radio station that paid your ticket. And then February.
They didn't buy all the tickets.
They're like, we'll play it out.
We're
here.
generous, but we're not. Come on,
We'll
we're a
see how
business
many-
too.
We'll see how many people show up.
If they did BOGO for their own thing.
I mean,
This
go-
one is Get one free. This is go-go.
The top go-go comic.
The top go-go. What is that? Just a free show. Get one free.
I did have a show when I walked off stage in Kansas City in front of 16,000 people. Felt so great.
Yeah.
Walked straight in my dressing room, look at my phone. I had a text from a comedy club coming up in the future and said, "Hey, so far we've only sold 8 tickets. Do you mind if we do some discounts?" And it's just a great, just bring you back down to earth, just reminder of
100 yards from the stage.
Yeah. That's I think that's great about comedy. Just
that's the beautiful.
It is.
Uh-huh.
I've had those texts.
You'll get brought down to earth.
You get that's
quick.
the beautiful. It's the
absolutely.
That's because it's the truest form of you. Like you're in charge of that.
Mm-hmm.
You get to start. Like I know but you are the one that gets to go. Well, then I got to figure. I'll figure it out. Whatever. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. So this weekend I'm in Palatka, Florida. I got the Comedy Catch coming up in Chattanooga.
Awesome.
March 1st, I'm in Hudsonville, Michigan. And then we'll go from there.
This weekend, Friday and Saturday, I'm in Toledo, Ohio at the Funny Bone. And then Sunday night, I'm going all the way from Toledo to Oklahoma City at Bricktown Comedy Club. That's Toledo and Oklahoma City. Bad routing, but it's going to be a fun weekend.
This weekend, I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, all weekend at the Bricktown, I believe. Bricktown in Tulsa.
Yeah.
I've never been to the club. I'm excited. I like Tulsa a lot. I've always been a big fan of the city of Tulsa. I don't get to go there that often, and so I'm pumped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I'll be in Estrizo, I think. I think it's Fort Myers, Estrizo, Florida.
Okay. See some cows
in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show me your cows. I'd like to see them. All right. Love you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
it's a big day for a lot of people. And see you next week. Bye. Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the Audio Boom platform. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.